And we're singing. We're singing. Time to talk. Beauty and the Bitch. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a podcast.
Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum
Vader was scary. He's coming for you. But seriously, he's coming for you. So, don't fucking feel safe.
He's coming specifically for me?
Sexually, because, you got it just right.
Because I'm good with computers!
Yes! Wait, that is the anti-truth.
Yeah, that's not... But probably his dick is a computer, right?
Beep boop boop.
Welcome back, my friends.
To another episode of Beauty and the Bitch. I'm Morgan.
My name is Mick.
And we have a very special guest today, the person who puts up with me more than anyone and thinks that I am the prettiest person in the world, because there are no other pretty people. Say it. I love you.
Yeah, it's great.
It's Aaron!
Hello, friends.
This is Morgan's sweet husband, and he's been creeping around trying to get his finger in my butthole and get on this podcast since before it began.
That is the story.
I mean, I was doing that before y'all had a podcast, though.
That's so true.
That's a good point.
Yeah, in hindsight, that makes sense. That checks out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we're so glad to have you here today. We are here to talk about Star Wars The Last Jedi, Episode 8. In the newest sort of trilogy that's happening, which is separate from the hashtag Star Wars story series that is happening, which the most recent one was last year, Rogue One, and we will be getting next year Solo, a Star Wars story. But bitch, that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about The Last Jedi, which will be coming out momentarily.
So soon.
Yeah, and Aaron was so great to get us tickets on the day that they became available. Because, girl, it's a madhouse on the internet, isn't it, Aaron?
Dude, you gotta keep refreshing until you just get lucky.
Patience.
Especially in a place like Austin.
Yeah, we couldn't get tickets at Alamo, because they didn't go on sale when they were supposed to. It was supposed to go on sale, during this halftime commercial. And then I just looked on Facebook, and one of my friends was like, got my tickets. And I was like, well, shit, fuck, I gotta go do that.
We had a football playing on television to
just
know
for
when. So...
Star Wars tickets.
I'm not happy about that.
It was
and
also,
now we
commitment.
have to go to a regular theater like a bunch of fucking peasants.
Like normies? Like muggles?
Peasants.
Oh.
It's a nice theater.
Peasants.
It's
A nice theater with...
Westgate Regal over there.
Yeah.
Well, that's
The
amazing.
peasant
Wait,
theater.
are you going on December 15th when it comes out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That Thursday. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes, so we are doing that and everything is awesome. But before we get too far into talking about The Last Jedi, which we're very excited to see, we have just a couple of guest questions for you, Aaron, to get you introed to everybody out there in our sphere. Okay, so guest question number 1. Why did we ask you to be on this episode / what is your relation to the subject matter, which is Star Wars as a franchise?
It's probably my biggest fandom. I just like it. I love Star Wars. I like everything about it. I don't know. It's fun. I play the video games. I play board games. Watched all the movies. Not quite. I've read some novels, but mainly just kind of the 3 or 4 that really kind of everybody talks about.
That's right. There are novels for the Star Wars fan.
Oh,
bajillions, right?
Yeah,
everywhere. They litter the thrift store shelves.
Most of them are legends, because after Disney acquired them, they kind of rolled everything back to where it's not part of the universe anymore. But they're still these are great stories. They're still in print, but...
So it's like eloquent fan fiction?
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. Which is always what it was. But, yeah. People just wanted the story to continue after.
How many pieces of individual Star Wars memorabilia would you guesstimate you own? Because, like, we're surrounded by Star Wars right now. At least on two sides.
Yeah, I mean, if we're including X-Wing miniatures, like, thousands. Yeah, because there's just so much stuff there. But, I mean, there's several paintings and some records and action figures and ships and
He's being modest.
Yeah, you're a super fan.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I'm not like, I have a terrible memory, so I don't like remember like all the like names and everything like that. But yeah, I like the content and I absorb it and I watch the movies. We'll probably watch the movies at least once every year.
Yeah.
Mainly the original trilogy. We'll like put up with the prequels like once a year, but I'll watch the original trilogy several times a year.
Would you say that Morgan's Lord of the Rings is your Star Wars?
Oh, yeah, probably.
I've never thought of it that way before, especially if you just think about the original trilogy. It's funny because the two of you both have a trilogy of really like beloved movies that kind of personify who you are as a fan.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Lord of the Rings too,
Right.
but I've never read the books, so I'll admit to that. But I've tried.
But he loves him some Star Wars, y'all. Yeah. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so guess question number 2. What kind of content do you consume and where and how? So like as far as like books, TV, movies, whatever. What's your favorite stuff?
Subscriptions, maybe.
I mean, it's a visual medium, so I like the movies and shows the best. I'm actually need to catch up on Rebels right now.
Star Wars.
Star Wars Rebels. So it's an awesome show if you want to absorb something, not the movies. It's set between episode 3 and 4, so on the Outer Rim. And it's really cool. It's just like about like this group of rebels and like this like Jedi that you didn't hear about, and he's got an apprentice, and it's great. And they're just like fighting to do good in the Outer Rim.
Would you say that the Star Wars Rebels is a cartoon made for adults?
Maybe like young adults. I mean, it's definitely kid friendly. But it's just itching that.
That Star Wars.
Yeah. So it's something that was kind of not really there. It's all like new content. So it's like people you really haven't heard about until this recent season where they introduced Grand Admiral Thrawn. And yeah, so that was actually a character that came from the EU, and he was so beloved that Disney brought him into like the new.
He came from the European Union.
It's the extended universe, is what like.
I wasn't even kidding. I was totally serious. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they call like, or they'll call it Legends or Extended Universe. Is what all the kind of stuff used to be called before, pretty much before the acquisition that they're not keeping canon. So right now, your canon stuff is all the movies, all like the books that came out since Disney bought them, and then all the TV shows.
Star Wars Holiday Special
with Boba Fett?
I think it might
with
be canon.
Chewbacca's whole family and a high as fuck Carrie Fisher.
Oh, worst thing ever.
Carrie Fisher's like, "What's over there? Anyways, I'm here. Give me my money."
I don't know if it is for sure. I think it might be though.
That's fucked up because that's when you know Chewbacca's a bad people because he just abandons his family.
He did
to go hang out with Han Solo.
Girl, but Han Solo's his real love though.
That's so true.
Let's be for real about
I'm shipping that. I'm there with you, boo. Okay, guess question number 3. What's your favorite cuss word?
My favorite cuss word? My favorite cuss word, I mean, you got to go with the classic. Fuck is probably. It's the best one. I use it all the time. It has so many meanings. You can just add it in anywhere. Fuck, fucking, fuckity fuck. Yeah, just good.
I once paid extra money to have fuckity fuck printed on the side of my glasses. You'll recall. Also my favorite cuss word.
It's a good use of your money, though.
You know? And somebody at my job had the audacity to be like, why would you waste your money on that? And I was like, waste?
Also, I think it was free on that pair of glasses.
It was actually, it cost money, but I probably told you it was free.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did, because I would have been mad.
Deep secret. I support
He's
you.
fucking mad.
He's furious.
Fuck says it's a solid cuss word. I mean, we've been down this road. We love them all. We're a fan of cuss words.
It's fair.
Like to express ourselves. Okay, this one might be a little harder for you. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? Can you pick just one?
I don't think I can. Probably actually R2-D2.
Oh, cute.
Just because he's been through it all.
And he's just a little bubby.
And, you know, in the original trilogy, he was like the main, like, comedy relief. And, like, in the prequels, he's a fucking badass. Like, he's, like,
That's
fucking
true.
tearing shit up. And, like...
Plus, he's got that sass mouth.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's like, beep, boop, 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 boop.
You ever watch the videos of, like, them, like, translating for him?
No.
It's so funny. You should watch it.
And you can find
He's
those
just
on
like-
YouTube,
yeah.
I bet.
He's just talking shit the whole time.
That's incredible. I just remember that video that we saw that they played at the Draft House in the 30-minute pre-show where it was that Yoda song.
Oh, yeah.
What was that
The
called?
seagulls. Yeah.
The seagulls. Yeah. So everyone.
This is a real song?
It's like a
is.
stupid comedy song.
It's like where they piece together words that like Luke and like Yoda are saying and make a song out
That's
of
funny.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then they like dub over Yoda's voice. I don't know. It's incredible. It's
You can find it on
hilarious.
YouTube, I
Yeah,
bet.
it's
yeah,
like
it's just seagulls.
Star Wars seagull situation.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Okay, R2-D2. That's a solid choice.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised, but I definitely support you in that.
Yeah.
I'm a basic bitch, so currently my favorite character in Star Wars is Rey because I'm there for all the feminist wisdom that she's bringing, and I'm right there with her on her struggle because, like, I don't know what she should do either, but I support her.
I'm totally with you there. I also love Rey, but I think my favorite is probably Yoda. It's also basic,
He's
but
so cute.
I mean, how can you not love him?
Yeah, he's
awesome.
quirky.
Yeah, he's fucking
I mean,
amazing.
there's a plethora of good choices, you know, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, C-3PO was a close second for me.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of queer, so I'm kind of into that.
Right, I have so many questions about that situation.
He's like Niles Crane, but a robot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he totally is.
Oh, wait, when Morgan, I'm going to ask the most important question because I've noticed when you ask the most important question, I feel like your bias bleeds through.
Oh,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah, and this is journalism. Messick, most important question. Don't fuck it up, okay? Which of us is the beauty?
Which one?
I mean, I'm definitely biased towards this. So I'm going to say Scoop.
No, everyone fucking Scoop don't do a damn thing.
Scoop is their dog, and Scoop is fucking cute as hell, but is he the beauty really?
Yeah.
He's literally a dog. Wouldn't he be the bitch just by, like, he has to be?
He
He's
has
dog.
a dick, so he's
I
not
know,
a
but-
bitch.
Well, he's closer to a bitch dog than
I don't
am.
know, girl.
Well, I don't know, but I will say Aaron seems to have learned his diplomatic wisdom.
But he just spoke in code. If you put all the first letters of the last 3 sentences he said together, it spells Mick is the beauty.
But if you play it
think so.
backwards,
I don't
he's saying
think
that Morgan is the beauty.
Oh, you mean like devil songs from rock bands?
Yes. Which
Devil's wisdom.
We should talk more about that because I really have never tried to play records backwards, but I really want to hear records say things about Satan at and around me. I'm into it. I love it. I would, I'm there for it.
Give him your heart.
True fact. If you play Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope backwards, it's George Lucas just saying on loop, give me your money. money. And that shit works.
Oh, it worked. Gangbusters.
That's a good way to not get your wife mad at you, but we both know what you mean, baby.
So I have a little question for y'all.
Uh-oh. Shit.
If you were a Jedi, what color, or Sith, what color would your lightsaber be?
Oh, the Sith can have a not red lightsaber?
I mean, they don't,
But they could.
I guess they could.
I want a purple one because I'm just like Samuel L. Jackson and I'm sick of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Don't you mean Siths?
I mean, so.
Oh, that would have been so much better. Morgan.
Can I take it? We'll just cut that out.
Yeah, redo it. Yeah.
I single use motherfucking sis on this motherfucking plane. Purple. But for real, I want a purple lightsaber.
Yeah,
That's
who
a
doesn't?
real answer.
I'm gonna be. You know what? I want a black lightsaber that is actually a black hole as well.
Oh,
I'm a whole new level of Sith Lord.
I'm trying to remember the name of it, but there is a black one. I think it's like the Dark Saber or something like that, and it's actually wielded by a Mandalore back in the day.
Mandalore, who I went to high school with?
The race that Boba Fett is. Or like that.
Oh, shit, yeah. Okay, so I'll be Boba Fett's great-great-great-great-granduncle who has the black
Boba Met.
lightsaber. Boba Met.
Boba Mick.
Okay, that was wonderful.
What about you, though, Messick?
I mean, I want to be purple, but I feel like it would be like blue, most likely.
The blue is the prettiest. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's tough, but probably blue. That's the color I wear the most. Mm-hmm. If there was like a gray lightsaber, I'd probably have that, but that would just kind of look like white. So,
are there white lightsabers?
I guess it just wouldn't have a color.
That sounds classy too. If it was like iridescent.
Nice. Actually,
like
yeah.
Yes.
So Ahsoka Tano, that's Anakin Skywalker. His apprentice was had a white lightsabers.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Star Wars, of course, needs very little introduction for anyone who does not live underneath a rock in our fucking world, because it is inundated everywhere since 1977, which is when the first Star Wars movie came out, A New Hope. Was it always called Episode 4? Or
No,
that happen later?
It didn't get called Episode 4 until after the Empire came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it just was Star Wars. And then it got dubbed, subtitled, A New Hope.
Cool. So, A New Hope came out, which was originally just called Star Wars, and it literally took the world by storm. It, brought on this whole new world of space opera. It brought on this whole new world of, space opera and just all this crazy space shit that we have today, right? It paved the way for today's love of Guardians of the Galaxy, things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it kind of... whereas, Tolkien kind of set that pace for, fantasy, I think it really opened up the world for, space movies and that kind of whole sci-fi. And I haven't read anything before it, but I feel like it set, a whole new precedent moving forward for sure.
That is a fabulous point. I've never thought of it that way. But you're right, it is a foundational work.
Yeah.
Did it come out... this is probably a dumb question, so forgive me. But did Star Wars come out before Star Trek?
No. Yeah. Okay. Star Trek was in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And Star Wars was in the 70s?
Yeah, late 70s.
Yeah. So. And George Lucas, I'm sure he was inspired by that. But when he was younger... Well, he made that, short film, or maybe it was a full-length film. It was called, TH36 or something, and it was this really weird sci-fi
THX
thing.
That's where it got the name, because they also patented the sound system, or, whatever the software is.
And so that kind of paved the way for him to be able to kind of do some stuff. And then Aaron, you were telling me the only reason he got to make Star Wars is because he landed a deal.
Well, he landed a deal with Universal for 2 films. And the first one was American Graffiti,
which people loved. And
got 5 Academy nominations. And he pitched it, and then so he had basically a free ride that he could make a movie on. But then apparently Universal didn't want to do a giant because the budget was too big after American Graffiti, which I think was pretty cheap to make. But then Fox ended up picking it up after he kind of hopped around a bunch, but. I don't know if you ever got that second Universal deal.
Oh, shit. He's still working on it.
Well, if he can't do it, girl, we're all fucked.
Girl, that's
anything George Lucas can't do, I certainly can't do.
And so, wow, 1977. So that was 40 years ago this year, and we're getting the 8th installment in this particular part of the franchise. So that's kind of incredible. And as you can imagine, there's been an array of Rotten Tomato reviews for all of those films. I won't go through all of them because that's a lot. But they range from the lowest being 55% to the highest being 94%. Would you like to take a stab at what the lowest rated Star Wars movie was between episode 1 and episode 7.
I mean, the worst one by far is episode 2.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt?
I would have guessed episode 1. I thought that shit was unwatchable.
Interesting. The world also thought it was episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I agree with you, Aaron.
Yeah.
I think The Phantom Menace is far more watchable than
Phantom
Attack
Menace,
of the Clones.
and I'll say it, and I'll argue this all day, is the best prequel. Like
Number 1?
Yep.
I agree also, because the kid shit is horrible, but you've got Qui-Gon Jinn,
You got Liam Neeson.
That's true.
acting his ass off.
And that Sith guy, the one with the double...
Darth Maul.
Darth
You got
Maul.
Darth Maul,
Yeah.
That's
which
an
is an
awesome fight.
Epic Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got his tragic death, and then you have fucking Ian McGregor trying to hold shit together
Yeah,
while
young
Natalie Portman,
Ewan McGregor
while
with
those
his
other
like
people are floundering.
stupid like Jedi braid, Padawan braid.
And Natalie Portman's fucking like To Catch a Predator-ing it
Yes,
up in this bitch.
but Misa not so sure that
Okay.
you're really taking in the full account of that fucking
Well,
movie.
He's in all of them.
Yeah, but he's really in that one.
Well,
He's really in
He's
the
a
second
lot.
one too.
I can't kill him.
I don't love Jar Jar. I don't even like
So,
him, but I don't hate him as much as everybody.
I think
That's good.
I think I dislike Jar Jar. Or what am I saying this backwards? I dislike Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker more than I dislike Jar Jar.
I see
like
where you're coming
the
from.
kid is a way better actor than Hayden could ever pull off Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that kid doing today? We should have.
He like got out of he got out of acting. Like
Like
that was like
after
the
that?
only thing he'd ever did. I'm
He
pretty
fucked
sure.
it up.
Well, I think kids at school and stuff were making fun of him. Like he
Well,
like
I
got
wonder
bullied and
why.
stuff.
Oh, that's
Girl,
sad.
I would just buy my own school if that was the
Right?
case. Fuck
I'm
those
sure
kids.
he still could.
Girl.
Okay, so that's for sure. The Phantom Menace got the lowest rating, 55%. You want to take a stab at which one got the highest rating at 94%?
I mean, I'm guessing it's the one that everybody thinks, and that's Empire.
Yeah.
Empire
thank you.
Strikes Back?
Yeah.
Episode 5.
Yeah.
I would guess Return of the Jedi.
Good guess, good guess. It was, in fact, The Empire Strikes Back, episode 5, which, not to be like super basic bitch, is like one of my favorite. I controversially am on board with The Force Awakens currently as being my favorite because it brought a lot to the table for me.
Forgive me so much. This is probably already obvious, but I'm not as big of a fan of Star Wars as y'all. Which happens in which one?
So,
they all blend. for
Episode
me.
4 is A New Hope. That was the first one. And that was when, we meet everyone.
Yeah, so Luke gets discovered on Tatooine, and they go and blow up the Death Star, the first Death Star.
Oh, okay. That all happens in that one?
Yeah, and
I
that's
know, right?
Oh, jeezy.
and that's why A New Hope is my favorite because it stands alone as its own movie. Because
Oh, and
he didn't
then-
know that it was going to be, so whenever he turned in the script, it was like a 200-page script, and they were like, this is like 3 times the length of a normal movie. So he cut it up into acts, and that's kind of what morphed into Empire. So basically, just did the first act, and
Just like Tolkien.
Yeah.
Can we say?
Exactly.
Just like Tolkien.
exactly.
That's crazy.
know
And that's why I
what?
like it because it's a whole experience. Like you get to meet everybody, and they have a conclusion. There's an award ceremony at the end. Good guys win, and like
Yeah, it is. It's nice and tidy.
yeah,
And I like A New Hope, and there's a lot of things I do like about it. I think Luke is incredibly too whiny in A New Hope,
Yeah.
but he gets better. But you know what happens at the end of A New Hope that I got some beef with?
What's that?
Chewbacca not getting a medal.
Leia's giving medals out. She's like, I'm a fucking queen princess. I'm handing out medals.
It is
Chewbacca,
bullshit.
Han, and Luke all walk up to the podium. She pins a medal on Luke. She pins a medal on Han. End of scene. Nothing for Chewbacca?
That is racist. That's
girl.
actually racist.
Yes, and then he has to go back to his family, and he
Who he abandoned.
He abandoned.
He didn't even have a
for
medal?
Nothing.
Oh,
He ain't got
girl.
nothing
Ain't
to
got
bring
nothing but
home.
some singed fur.
Girl, it made me mad.
It is bullshit.
Facts.
Okay, so that's episode 4. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. That's where you get that great scene where he opens up the tauntaun with the lightsaber, and he's like, "Oh, just stay warm inside of here."
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Yeti monster.
Is that where Han gets frozen and whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's frozen carbonite. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the whole job
I love
of
you,
the
I
house.
know.
Yeah.
You know, classic line.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
gets frozen at the end of Empire, and then Jedi, kind of skipping ahead, is where their mission is to go save him.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
Which
Jedi
is
how it starts out.
the last of the original
Yeah.
trilogy.
Yes. And then at the end of Return of the Jedi, we get the Ewoks like helping save the day.
Oh, Ewoks are in that one. See?
And you know, that's why people either love or hate Return of the Jedi. People either love or hate the fucking Ewoks.
Really?
And there's a big joke, and they did it on How I Met Your Mother, that you can tell a person's age gap based on whether or not they
Yeah.
love the Ewoks. Like, if you love the Ewoks, you were born, like, after 1980 or something. But if you hate the Ewoks, you were born, like, before 1980. Or
So
I don't know. There's some, like,
Ewoks
math.
were the Jar Jar before.
Kind
like, people
of, yeah.
hated them like
People
I
hated
hate
them.
Jar Jar.
Yeah, I don't think anybody hates the Ewoks as much as people hate Jar Jar because they don't. I mean, they talk, and I think it's like their language is like a mix of like Tibetan and like Nepalese. But like they're not just gibberish like
But
to
their
us.
face is 100%.
But they're just fucking
teddy
walking
bear
cute
shit
teddy
still.
bears.
They're just the cutest.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think I don't know. It's not bad. It's a good part of it.
Yeah.
But they're also like not my favorite, and Return is not my favorite. So.
Yeah, so most people like Empire Strikes Back because it brought like all the action and like kind of they had a little bit more freedom, it seemed like.
Yeah, I forget the director of that one.
And Luke is less whiny, and that helps.
Yeah. I mean, so you have so many iconic scenes. I mean, you have Hoth, so you have the walkers, and like
Yeah.
him taking down some walkers. He goes back and like tries to finish his training. He finds out that Vader is his father. Just like so many like. Sorry,
I don't believe
spoiler alerts, guys. Spoiler alerts. And it's just fucking gorgeous. It's like, and that's why I like.
It is really pretty.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always like my two arguments are. A New Hope is like my favorite movie, whereas Empire is like my favorite film, just because like it's the best shot. I feel like the story has it's very well put together.
Okay, and then we have Return of the Jedi, and then decades go by, and then they're like, "Oh, let's see what else we can do. We like money."
The Christmas special comes out in that time,
Oh,
right?
that motherfucker came out. Like,
When was
Let's
Return?
not skip over her.
Yeah,
Return was 83.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, and
So
then
they
it
had a
was
couple years.
99 was
when Phantom Menace came out.
98 or 99.
And as we said, that's the one with Darth Maul, and we lose Qui-Gon Jinn, and
Girl, I'll never
Obi-Wan is
forget that
cemented.
because I'll never forget. I was sitting in Taco Bell with my mom, and
Okay.
it was when they were doing all the stuff, all the like advertising for that.
Oh yeah, they put him straight on the Taco Bell cup.
And my mom looked up at old Liam Neeson's up on the window, and she said, just like that. And I said, that was the first time she had ever shown
Your
like
mama not
desire.
wrong, though.
Girl, well, no. Now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, wrap me up in those braids.
He's really got his hair was atrocious, but he's really got something like Liam Neeson. He has like this. There's just like this magnetic attraction, and it's weird because out of context, he's not really a pretty person. But
That's that voice, man. He's
wrapped
got
up
like an
in-
amazing voice.
And he has a really special set of skills, and I assume it involves sex things. That's all I know. Okay, so we get Darth Maul, all that, and then we have Attack of the Clones. Little
Garbage.
baby Anakin's grown up, but he's a little bitch.
Is that General Grievous? Is an Attack of the Clones?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
he is?
Oh, he is?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, and he's got all the hands.
And Count Dooku, that's where they have
Christopher Lee.
they have
Yes.
that's the best part is that like fight, the Yoda and Count Dooku
Dooku,
fight at the end.
Yes, so good.
So
He's like
good.
bouncing all
Yeah.
over the... And then the third one of the new trilogy,
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, that's where we get no, and where he actually becomes Vader.
That
What
was
else happens?
horrible. Yeah, they kill. We find out. We already knew, but the people who were stupid and didn't know that Palpatine is.
Yeah.
What's his name? The Chancellor or whatever. They're the same
Yeah,
person.
Chancellor Palpatine.
Is the Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like the super bad Overlord Sith dude. And then motherfucker kills Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Shade.
People
Well,
have been trying.
and
And
so-
Anakin didn't do a damn thing.
No, he freaking helped him.
And then he killed some little kids.
Oh,
He
the
killed,
younglings or
yeah.
whatever.
What was
Killed
it?
all those
Order
kids.
66, I think is what it was.
Oh, he slaughtered. And then fucking Natalie Portman's like, maybe I can forgive forgive him. And Obi-Wan's like, I'm gonna slap a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
We're done here. And then she's like, I'm so sad I died. Which is whatever. And then
Which
she
was
has
the
twins.
whole point of him going to the dark side.
And then fucking Organa, Senator Organa's like, I will take this one, baby. And they were like, it's gonna be Leia. And then they're just like, just send that whole other one to the desert. He'll figure it out. Like, she gets to grow up and be a fucking princess.
Yeah.
And they just send Luke's ass to the desert.
Yeah, that's
He got the shaft for sure.
Yeah, he definitely got shafted. But
the plan worked. So, they were undiscovered.
that's true. Yeah. Okay, and then super flash forward to like 2 years ago, and we get episode 7, The Force Awakens, which was a beautiful retelling of A New Hope as far as like tropes and like, storyline goes. But I felt like it was done so tastefully, and I found it so touching. I like legit cried in the theater, and I'm like, this is Star Wars, and I'm crying in the movie theater. Mm-hmm. And the acting was superb, like much better than the acting in the other Star Wars.
Yeah, George Lucas, he is a visual director. He cannot direct people. And he doesn't write dialogue well at all. That's just apparent throughout the whole trilogy, or the original trilogy. Yeah, it's really well done. Lots of good comedy, lots of good fucking awesome action.
And the Force Awakens, it won't shock you to know that all these movies made millions of dollars.
I'm shocked!
Yeah. The Force Awakens made the most amount of money at the box office, even adjusted for inflation, more than the other movies.
Really?
And it brought in $2 billion, $58 million, $662,225 at the box office.
Girl,
Nice.
said that didn't even sound like a real number. There were way too many numbers in that
know.
number.
Well, they bought it for
There's 3 commas.
what,
$4
billion?
billion.
Yeah, $4 billion. So
Yeah, so let's
You
talk
have to-
about that.
Disney buying Star Wars?
Disney
Yeah.
acquired Star Wars from...
they
Lucas.
acquired just like LucasArts or whatever it was called.
Yeah, which I think personally is... It's almost like people were like, why would George Lucas sell? But honestly, it's probably the best decision he could make, because he knew he would make a shit ton of money, but then he just made a shit ton of money, but he didn't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent along, like... So a person who's behind all this Star Wars stuff that's not George Lucas is a lady named Kathleen Kennedy, and I don't know if you guys have heard very much about her. Kathleen Kennedy is one of the richest people in Hollywood and one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. And she is like the executive producer for Star Wars and like tons of stuff. She is probably behind like many of your favorite things, and she has all of the power. And so Kathleen Kennedy is still attached to the Star Wars films. And there's also a lot of talk going on because people are wondering if she's difficult to work with, because for this Han Solo movie that's supposed to be coming out in like fucking April, they've gone through like 2 directors. Currently it's Ron Howard is directing the Solo film.
Well, they hired
And
a team of directors or it's like a duo of
They've
directors.
had a lot of firings as far as the new wave of Star Wars stuff has gone, and a lot of people are attributing that to Kathleen Kennedy. But she's such this powerhouse that it's hard to say like, oh, it's all her fault.
I've never heard her name before.
It's insane.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to hear about a powerful lady I didn't know about.
I know,
that.
same actually. Yeah. And she tells, I heard her on the Nerdist podcast earlier. It might have been last year when Rogue One came out, but she seems like a really nice lady, and she has just like the craziest stories of just like, being friends with like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, and like she's like, and then George called me up and he said we're gonna whatever, and I was like, I'll get it done. She's like the fucking Kerry Washington of this shit. She's like, consider it handled, and she just does it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so she's a boss bitch. Kathleen Kennedy. Everyone should Google that hoe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to check her out.
So yeah, but there's a lot of implications that go along with Disney acquiring Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Obviously they know how to merchandise, and I feel like
it's everywhere.
That's probably what... they're going to put out the movies just so they can have more merchandise to put out. That's all it is.
What's their plan? A movie every year for like the next 8 years or something?
I don't fucking know, man. It's going to be too much.
It's a lot.
Even as a Star Wars fan, you think? Because I think that's notable for a big fan.
It could get oversaturated quickly. I mean, as long as they make the episode special, that's fine. Like, I don't want like a new episode like every other year. You know, like that's too much. Like, at least a 5-year break or something where we can absorb that and like makes it special.
Do it right because we're getting episode 8 2 years after.
Well, I'm talking about like after this trilogy, like once because they're all trilogies. So you have the 4 through 6, and then you had the prequels. Now we're doing
7 through
9. So as long as they make, you know, a little bit of a break in between, or decide maybe, hey, that's the end of, maybe that's a trilogy of the trilogy, so they're gonna stop there and maybe start a whole new story, like arc or something. Because right now it's just all it is the Skywalker is what we know right now, and then everything is driven by these characters or this family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So, and that's kind of why I'm hoping that Rey isn't a Skywalker, but I guess Kylo Ren is a Skywalker, so
he is because
he could be the big one, yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many unknowns.
I think if I was a bigger fan of Star Wars, I think I would have been really excited when Disney bought it, especially after
I was.
You were. Well, because it pretty much, I mean, it's like immortal now, essentially, right? Disney is going to take care of it, and they tend to. I mean, they have certainly had some flops in their, you know, publishing career, but Disney tends to put out pretty quality stuff, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I was definitely excited, but I was also kind of scared too, just oversaturating the market and stuff like that. Which hopefully they'll kind of ease back, but yeah, they're planning on a film every year, which is not the worst as long as I like the episodes. I mean, Rogue One was fucking awesome.
See, yes, Rogue One was fucking awesome, but I have like. One of the things that I was like about Disney is that they might try to Disney up some of the like things, and I was glad that they didn't do that for Rogue One, because I know, Mick, you didn't watch Rogue One, or you did?
No, I didn't even realize that movie existed.
It's fucking awesome, man. It's probably going to be your favorite Star Wars movie.
You won't be sad to hear the spoiler.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, at the end of it, everyone dies at the end of Rogue One. It's a story.
I can't believe you just told me that.
It's
a legit spoiler.
Yeah, well, it's them trying to acquire the Death Star plans, and then Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, starts with them having the Death Star plans, and what are they going to do with it? Yeah. So it's the story of what it took to get the Death Star plans, and spoiler alert, what it took is millions of people dying to get their hands on it to save, you know, the fucking rebellion or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like beautiful, like it's a beautiful story. The acting is like,
yeah, and it's not
maybe
done,
the best acting in any Star Wars movie ever. Like, it was incredible. Diego Luna representing the Latino community, being just a star in the sky. Like, he was a beautiful, incredible. We get this new hilarious robot. His name is K2SO, voiced by
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
I was gonna guess
Shark Dick? That's not
I was going to say Charlotte Johansson, who's not even a person. I was trying to say, what's her face?
Her.
Scarlet.
Yeah, you knew.
So, anyways, that's a great film, but I was scared that they would Disney-fy stuff, but then they, you know, let everyone die, so maybe they're doing okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think the episodes are definitely going to be that, not necessarily kidified, but like, in The Last Jedi, and I hope there's more of a story-driven part of it, but they're throwing in porgs, which, yeah, they're freaking cute.
We're definitely talking about porgs.
We're getting to her.
But,
yes, I have so questions.
It's just like another Ewok. It's like, oh, we just want to sell toys. They're already on the fucking shelves, like before the movie even hits.
I want one. It's working.
Can I ask real fast, if you were speaking to someone who had never seen any of the Star Wars movies, didn't know the world, what order would you recommend they watch the movies? Original order? Actual, like, chronological order? Should they watch the animated shit? Not shit stuff. You know, what should they do?
What do you think, Aaron?
I mean, I would probably go into the way I watched them, which was the original trilogy. I mean, honestly, if anybody's never seen anything Star Wars, I'm just going to say, watch A New Hope. If you like it, keep going.
Yeah, if you don't like A New Hope, you won't like anything.
Because that's the backbone. I mean, that's pretty much everything that goes in there. I mean, you have Jedi, you have a terrible lightsaber fight, which is iconic because, it didn't really happen. He just, like, let Darth Vader kill him. I don't know. He just kind of turned into a ghost instantly. The Force is weird.
Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At the end of New Hope. But yeah, and then it's got the awesome space battle, and it's got a little bit of everything, you know?
So you wouldn't recommend starting with Jar Jar's episode?
Hell
No,
no.
I mean...
You don't want to throw a newbie into episode 1. They never going to make it to episode 4.
No.
Yeah, I almost would...
It's
I would
such
recommend...
trash.
I would recommend... even once the new stories come out, is do it chronologically, starting from A New Hope. And then if you're interested, you can go back and get that backstory. Because they're not really mentioning too much.
But maybe you should get drunk and put it on mute. Which is, like, not an unenjoyable way to watch a movie.
And just put words in their mouths.
That's what I like to do.
Fair.
So you would say episode 4, 5, 6, and then maybe go right on into 7,
Rogue
8.
One.
Okay.
Or Rogue One, and then probably... I don't know, that's tough, because that's going to really buffer.
Because Rogue One happens
Before 4.
episode
It's like
4.
3.5, right?
Yeah.
But everything is so, like, new and shiny in Rogue One, it probably wouldn't be a good place to start.
Yeah, it's tough. I would just start with A New Hope, and then work your way.
I think it's a fine way to watch it by release year. Personally, I think if you watch 4, 5, 6, and then you go to 1, 2, 3, that's shit. That's just total trash. You have to just suffer through trash, and then you're book ending it with something else that's amazing with The Force Awakens and Rogue One. Like I think for me, it was the perfect order to watch it, and I can't imagine having seen it in a different way. Personally,
I mean, chronologically is... I like to watch it chronologically now, just because there is a lot of things that fit together throughout them. But at least for the in the time frame of the story, not release date, as far as chronologically. But.
So, Mick, do you know? Have you heard? And is this appealing to you? That the titles of the new trilogy are probably forming a sentence. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. ... What's the third one gonna be called? We don't know.
From Deep Slumber.
Right?
Ooh, that would be... It doesn't sound like Star Wars.
But
The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi from Deep Slumber. From her mania. No, from her madness. No, The Force Awakens...
From her period.
Oh, no. You can wake up from that?
I don't know,
Girl, I'm ready. I'm pinching myself.
Trying to think.
It's intriguing, though.
Yeah. I haven't come up with a good one yet, but
That's
I can
exciting.
think. I mean, it makes sense so far because it makes. I mean, it already forms.
I feel
a
like
sentence.
it can't. I and the rest of the world feel like it can't be coincidence that they fit so snugly together, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the sentence is.
Hmm.
So that's a cool thing that's going on. Let's see. We've touched a little bit on the shows and the spin-offs and stuff. So can we talk a little bit about the iterations? Aaron, you're deep into the iterations of Star Wars. I mean, you play X-Wing Miniatures, which is a really intense miniatures game. There's another game called Star Wars Armada that's really popular. There's a whole slew of video games. Currently, the popular one is Battlefront.
It's about Battlefront 2. Well, it'll be out by the time this podcast is out. Yeah, so it's about to come out. Yeah, it's fun.
And it's like,
It's just like it's a first-person shooter. It's just like Call of Duty, but set in the Star Wars universe.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Is it so Call of Duty? So it doesn't have like RPG elements as much. It's not like a Fallout or a Skyrim.
No, I mean there is. So with like a lot of those shooters, the like online play. So there is a story mode in this one, which there wasn't in the last one. Okay. So that's cool, and it looks interesting because it's a whole new story that's not. So that's, I mean, I'm really excited to play that. But and there's kind of an RPG where, like, you know, whenever you kill somebody, you get experience points, and then you can use that to buy gear, or like whenever you level up, you get like a little badge or something, or like a different color on your stormtrooper. Or but this one. It's cool because it's expanding the whole genre, whereas the one before this just did the original trilogy. So you get like a lot more characters. You get like the robot army, you know, the clones, and like, you know, the New Order and everything.
You know, it's really interesting. I was I was doing some research into queer characters in the Star Wars universe.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, yes. Which is one of the main reasons I never got into it.
Yeah.
You know, as a gay man, a queer person of any sort, really, when there's something like Star Wars that is so culturally beloved, you have to invite me as a minority into that experience. You have to. At least in my opinion. Because I know there are tons of queer Star Wars fans, but for me, I always looked at that and said, all the football players like it. There's no one like me in it. It's not for me, right? However, that being said, of course, we've got all kinds of flirtations happening in the newer movies. And then, did you know that this is it's kind of bullshit, but Mark Hamill said that Luke Skywalker might be gay. Did you hear about that?
No.
Well, okay, gay by omission, really. Just because you never see him with any woman but Leia, right?
Yeah. Also, the Jedi are supposed to not have relationships. That's why it was such a big deal that Anakin would go out with Padme and had children. But anyways, continue.
Well, okay, and his thing was, someone asked him, like some sad, bullied gay Star Wars fan asked him on Twitter, everyone hates me because I'm gay. Is Luke gay? I feel like I get gay vibes from him. And Mark Hamill wrote back and said, of course he's gay, if you think he is. And I was like, okay, girl, I see where you're coming from. I love you, Mark Hamill. Nothing against you. But, like, that's not enough. I can't do this whole, like, subterfuge, like, they made eyes at each other. Maybe they're in love. No, Queen. We lived that way for thousands of years. I'm
agree.
over that.
I'm not... Yeah, I don't like that. That's the whole retconning Dumbledore as a homosexual situation. Like, it's nice to have, and it's great that you've said that, but could we not have did this in the books?
He was probably just saying, like, if that's the character you're identifying with, if that's the Luke that you like, because he's probably just, they're not going to bring it up, you know?
It is interesting to think, not that what he said is, like, right or anything, but, like, to think of Luke as a gay character and, like, what they could have done.
It wouldn't make sense. Like, I mean, he's usually hanging out with attractive men. The only person that you've seen him kiss is his sister. So, like, and that's just weird.
Yeah,
so.
It was really weird.
That was a weird
George Lucas, he's not so good at everything, that's for sure. Yeah.
That's when they're in the Ewok village, aren't they, when that happens?
Yeah, I think so. And
Like on a bridge
it happened on Hoth.
Oh, it happens on Hoth. Oh.
And then maybe on...
No, they don't kiss on that bridge because that's where Han thinks that they're, like, hanging out. And she's like, you don't understand. He's my brother. And he's like, that's fucked up because y'all kissed him last movie.
I saw you two kiss. I saw your tongues touch. But what I was originally going to say was about the games. There are actually plenty of queer characters in the games because it gets relaxed a bit.
Okay.
So, like, I looked it up. There was, I think, less than 10, but a good handful. There was, like, a lesbian, and there was a genderqueer person. There was a guy that you could, like, even if you were the male character protagonist in the game, you could, like...
You're talking about Knights of the Old Republic?
Maybe. It all kind of runs together.
So that was the old Bethesda game. So, like, before... like Skyrim and all that. They had released 2 games. And yeah, they were awesome. Like, I mean, just like Fallout and stuff. It's like an awesome RPG, but Star Wars. But yeah, it was the same thing. Like in all those, like, it doesn't matter what gender you are. Like if you want to hit on the dude, great. You know, if you're a lady, you want to hit on a girl, it's great.
Which, of course, is super exciting. The only character... There have been no queer characters in the movies. In the movie universe, there's no...
There is... I mean... The Finn Poe bromance.
Yeah, but see, that's that subterfuge thing, girl. Yeah. Just because, look, I look in your eyes all day long. So if we just destroyed an evil empire, we could have some really intense eye contact that has nothing to do with you wanting to suck my dick.
It's true.
I just read this article on the Nerdist where they interviewed the guy who plays Finn, John Boyega, who is amazing and also British, in case you didn't know, in real life. And they interviewed him, and they were asking about the Pomance, the Poe bromance. And his response was that he would love... I mean, of course, he can't reveal anything ever. But he said that he would love for Finn and Poe to be together forever, and that he thinks that would be like a lovely ending for them as characters. And that he said that Oscar Isaac's on the set, who is the guy who plays Poe Dameron, oh my god, so beautiful. And he said on the set, he would like go out of his way to make intense eye contact and like a very uncomfortable way. And he was like, so I couldn't tell if Oscar was shipping our characters or if, like, there was, like, something more. Which I love. Because, like, Oscar Isaac does seem like such an intense person, especially after, like, Ex Machina, which is a movie he's in. Seeing him in
I saw that. Who's
He's the fucking dude with the shaved head who's the crazy rich person.
Yeah, he's the rich guy whose house they're in.
Right? He looked different.
I don't recognize him at all.
He intense.
Girl, he was scary in that.
I know,
thought.
girl. Yeah,
Oh my
that's a great
goodness.
film.
It's
Ex
so
Machina.
good.
We're plugging that.
Plug that. Yeah, it's good.
It's awesome.
But after reading that, not only did it fill my heart with joy, but like, I truly don't think that they're going to do that because I think you're right. I think they're going to try to make Finn and Rey be together. But I think the best solution would be for none of them to be together because Rey don't need a man to complete her story. Amen, sister. To myself.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to end up together. I mean, that's what Finn
Somebody's
wants.
going to die for show.
But there were two... Oh, wait, did you say that's what... Oh,
that's what Finn
I thought you
wants.
meant the character. Okay.
Yeah.
But weren't there two characters in Rogue One,
Yes,
too, that
I
were
was
queer?
gonna say this. So, and I also I was trying to read up to see if it was canon that they were together, and they left it ambiguous, like it's not written if they were together, but if you see that movie, they are absolutely together. Like, and
Oh, yeah.
what are their names? It's like a blind ninja monk and then like this super
remember.
butch dude who's got like this huge gun, like
Base, and I only know that because he's in X-Wing. But the other guy's
shit,
not.
I should have
It's
looked
like
their names
It's like
up.
Boba Fett's best friend and then the blacksmith guy who's his best friend's partner, right?
What?
Is that the right thing?
No.
Oh, that's something else I read down online. There's
No,
some
it's like
character like
they're like guardians of like the Chimera crystals, Kyber crystals, which is the crystals that go into the lightsabers to make them.
Which also
lightsabers.
power the Death Star.
Yeah,
And that's why they're mining this planet.
Little known fact, you can also smoke those kyber crystals
Holla!
and have a really good decade.
Nice.
That's why that dude was blind. But yeah, so they were like protectors of the Kyber crystal shit, and anyways, they go along on the journey to help get the Death Star plans and like everything, and they're really instrumental. But like, they're definitely like, it's not canon. They didn't write it, and they should have just voiced it. But like, definitely 100%, like they are together, and they are easily the cutest couple in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay, so I'm going to
Easily.
watch this movie because I want to see this romance, and also because I feel ridiculous. I remember you guys going to see Rogue One. I thought you were such Uber fans that it was like a non-event, but you were making it an event. But it's actually an event. Okay, there is one character, though, in the Star Wars movies who is genderqueer / maybe transgender / hermaphroditic / ambiguously gendered.
It's a Misa.
Jar Jar Binks? No, that's a man. Girl, you don't have to claim that.
Who is it? Yoda?
It's Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Because the
he
Hutt people... I know, I'm also like, thanks, girl. You give us
He
Jabba the Hutt. What a joy. But
gross.
Jabba the Hutt, those aliens, they all contain both female and male characteristics.
Oh, sure.
And they just decide if they want to be male or female. But their language... doesn't include any gendered pronouns. There's no he, she in their language, which is called like Hutsian or some shit. I don't know.
Nice.
So there is one genderqueer character. He's not really an upstanding figure. And speaking of his figure, I won't. But yeah, he
no
does
waistline.
Girl.
Nothing.
You can't sense that shit.
Oh,
No.
it's crazy. Okay, do you have anything else to say about
I've got
that sadness?
One other, I brought up Boba Fett incorrectly, but what is this? Why do people love Boba Fett? I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it.
Aaron.
I don't know. He's just like this cool kind of like mysterious character in the background, and he's like the guy who like captures.
Talk about him a little bit. Like, when was he? He was in the original.
He gets eaten by the sand.
Boba
pole
Fett was in
or
the
whatever.
original movies.
Yeah,
And
so
then Jango Fett was in the prequels. Also, Tiny Boba Fett.
yeah, so that was Boba Fett's dad,
Yeah.
who
So
was
it's very confusing to me.
yeah. So Jango Fett was like, I guess Boba Fett was like a special clone that they ordered to not age because like clones age super fast. So basically, he ordered like a special version for like doing something. I can't remember. Attack of the Clones is fucking terrible, and I just zone out every time I watch that movie.
And then he was like, "This is my son."
Yeah. So raised them. Jango Fett died at the end of Attack of the Clones, and then like he's basically just trying to get revenge. Boba's trying to get revenge on Obi-Wan,
and that's why he's such a dick.
Mace Windu. I can't remember. I think it was Mace Windu who killed Jango.
So he's got like a tragic backstory.
Yeah. And he was supposed to get his own movie, like it was going to be like Jango Fett a Star Wars or Boba Fett a Star Wars story, but they pulled the plug on that shit, a la harking back to some controversies with Kathleen Kennedy, possibly. Yeah. Wow. So they pulled the plug on the Jango Fett project or Boba Fett. Yeah, whatever the fucking Fetts.
The Fett family.
Yeah. I just think he's just a cool character. I mean, he's got a backpack that has jets, you know. He's got rockets. He's got an awesome helmet. You know, he's just a cool bounty hunter. He's like the guy who took down Han Solo. You know, as part of his plan to get him.
And the way he dies isn't when you fall
he dies into the Sarlacc.
Oh,
is it?
Yeah.
You're digested for like
did he die?
Years.
Did he?
Shit, he didn't die.
It's supposed to. That's supposed to be. I think it might be canon that he didn't now.
How'd he get out of there? Inquiring minds want to know. And so you should check it out because Morgan's vagina resembles that sandhole.
I might be speaking out of turn, but I think, at least in the old lore, I think he was rescued by Dengar, which is like another like popular bounty hunter.
And also the name of our firstborn child.
I was going to say Dengar Messick. That kid's fucked.
Well, for many reasons.
But I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he escaped or is rescued or whatever. I don't know.
So essentially his popularity has to do with his mystery. It's just his coolness. He's just got like a chicness to him.
Yeah.
Like an awesomeness. Interesting. I just never understood it because you never even see his face, do you? I don't, but someone may have.
In the original, or not the original, in episode 2, you see Boba Fett, but he's a kid.
Yeah.
But if he's a clone of Jango Fett, then you know what he looks like because you see Jango Fett. Because the clone army
is a whole clone of Jango.
Right. Is that what the stormtroopers are supposed to be? Which is why we're not supposed to feel bad when they get like just pew pewed and they're all dead because they're just like clone bitches. Well, but then they run out of the clones.
Yeah.
So then they have to kidnap children and recruit people, and that's why Finn is so sad, and we're on his side because we're like, it's not his fault. He wasn't a bad person. He was kidnapped, and he was made to be a stormtrooper.
So those stormtroopers we saw in the original trilogy and in the prequel trilogy are not the same stormtroopers we're seeing now because they used to be clones, but now they're real slave children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay,
yeah, it changes the narrative.
So, wow. Yeah. So there are like. Most of the clones are dead just because they age so fast. But there are still apparently like some out there. I don't know about in like right now, but like in the Rebels and stuff like that, there's some like old clones that like show up. But they're like 60s, you know, like or 70s or like, you know, up there. Because I think they're supposed to age like 5 times faster. Because you're supposed to basically be able to raise and put on the battlefield in like 4 years, like from cloning to.
So did you know Morgan was a clone when you married her? No, did you know this was going to happen?
I mean, I love her because she looks just like Jango.
So chic. Okay, so there were, besides Boba Fett being this weird phenomenon from the original films, there's a couple other things that are really iconic. For me, the thing that stands out most is, of course, Carrie Fisher and her gold bikini. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys know, there was a lot of controversy with Carrie Fisher and her gold bikini because she was told she was far too fat to be seen in that and either possibly had an eating disorder or underwent a lot of stress and trauma to get herself to that point. And she became a really big feminist activist post the movie, after also she had a lot of drug problems and alcohol problems that stemmed directly from her work on the film. So it's like this beautiful nerdy fantasy of this like deeply gorgeous person and this like extremely sexy bikini, but in real life it's actually this really horrible negative thing that kind of ruined a big chunk of her life, and it's just so sad to me to think about. It's so sad.
It is sad.
But she did look real good.
She looked real good.
She looked real good.
She did. It's a real
catch-22.
Yeah.
It's super sad. But I mean, I think it's mainly sad because she is such a part of like our world, and like,
R.I.P.
but there's
Carrie
like
Fisher.
no telling how many people were objectified in that same way at that same time.
Sure.
You know, other actresses, they were like, "Oh, you're too fat. You gotta be cute in a bikini." Like,
but it's almost like, is she lucky that at least that thing she did lived on to be this mega icon, or is it like a constant reminder of her like stilted youth where she spent time just being like on drugs and sad? I don't know.
If she had been, this is a maybe not a nice question to ask, but I do think it's appropriate. If she had been 15 pounds heavier in that bikini, do you think that scene would be as iconic?
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem.
Obviously.
I don't think so, though, and I feel like a horrible person to say that. But I mean, she was really skinny. It's hard. It
Depends
to
where the
say.
15 pounds was at.
Amen. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good. I mean, honestly, like, it makes me really sad to think that was such a traumatic experience for her and that people were so cruel to her. But at the end of the day, that's what we like to see in movies.
Yeah.
By and large.
We're terrible.
But that's why when Michael Jackson says, what does he say about the man in the mirror? You gotta start with you.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to. I mean, you have to. It's one thing to be like, oh, Harvey Weinstein's a pig. Which he is, obviously.
It's the worst.
Hollywood is the actual swamp that should be drained.
She's horrible.
Yeah. But on the other hand, why does that happen?
We
Because
love
I
it.
want the thin, muscly men, and I want the beautiful ladies.
I just wanted to like self-righteously bring it up. Like, of course, I love Carrie Fisher, and she looked fantastic. But also, I hear her struggle. I hear her struggle. I see it. And I move on. And I move on, because that's all you can do. Because it happened 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So sad,
She's
Carrie.
not worried about it now, I promise you that.
Oh, BB. You know, in the new poster for The Last Jedi, she be looking so beautiful in the middle of that poster. Like, her outfits in The Force Awakens, like, they really classed up Princess Leia. And I love... There's like a line in The Force Awakens at the very beginning where Poe is talking to this old dude, like at the very first scene, and he's like, I'll get this to the general. And he's like, the general, to me, shall always be royalty. And it's just like a sweet, tiny line. And like, I just like, it's just very touching, and it's a great legacy for her. And I think that it's so sad that she's dead, and there's a lot of feelings about her being in this new film, but what a great legacy she's leaving behind, and she's such a great character. So,
you know, they've said as definitive as you can be about the future, that this obviously will be her last film, and they're not The Last Jedi, I mean, and they're not going to bring her back for the third one. They said even as a hologram.
That's like, great. That's a bad choice.
She's not coming back. Yeah, it is. Though I wouldn't have minded like an Obi-Wan wavy hologram of her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want her to come back and like interact, but if at some point they could just have Carrie Fisher standing in like a beautiful place with Han. And like, I don't know.
Because he dead, BB.
Yeah. Like, I just got chills. I don't even like Star Wars.
It's really interesting. I don't know what they're going to do to wrap up her storyline, because, I mean, they had finished filming before she died. And so are they going to have to, like, retcon and change some things? Probably.
Guessing she's probably going to die in this movie.
Yeah. That's what I think, too.
I mean, in the trailer... It looked like Kylo was about to kill her.
No, there's no way Kylo Ren is killing that. They set that up. There's no way he's doing that.
No,
because they will make him a straight up monster if he kills both his parents.
Can we just move into talking about the new movie? Do you have more about general? Because I've got some stuff, but I can bring it up later on.
I have some things that I want to talk about. The Force Awakens. We can wrap that up inside of it. Oh, I have one more thing though.
Okay.
Did you guys? Because the world may not have known this, so we're going to throw it out there. But Mark Hamill was in a horrible accident between episode 4 and episode 5, and he looks crazy different. Like, if you haven't seen A New Hope versus Empire Strikes Back together in a while, like, he looks like a different person. And they also change his tenor so much between the movies that it's so stark. It's crazy. Was it a motorcycle accident?
I can't remember.
But he fucked his face up. He had reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
And he always looked crazy after that. Crazy. That's why he looked like the Joker.
He does, yeah.
He
That's
sounds
why
like it
gets to
too
voice
for
him.
like ever.
Yeah, plus all those
Yeah.
times he played it.
The Joker we know.
So, anyway, so that was like a thing just for you to
Yeah,
know.
I didn't. You had told me that like years ago. We were talking about Star Wars, but I had no idea.
I'm pretty sure that's why they wrote that like beginning sequence in to explain
to be
it.
like, that's why his face is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's because that little Yeti
got
monster kidnapped him.
Yeah,
and
he
beat
got
him up.
attacked by like the abominable snowman or whatever it was.
Oh, I don't remember that.
When he cut that tauntaun and slept inside him, or Harrison Ford did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Harrison Ford had to rescue him from the ice cave or the ton or the Yeti, whatever. Anyways, that's how they explained it.
Okay.
And speaking of Luke Skywalker, I don't know about you guys, but I loved the build up in The Force Awakens to whether or not Luke Skywalker was. First of all, I love that he was like a legend, and people were like, "We didn't even know he was a real person." And then like his reveal at the end, because I think less is more. A lot of times with Star Wars, and R.I.P. Carrie, but I think we could use a little less Carrie Fisher. Her acting was not superb.
Yeah.
You were not allowed. Yeah.
But she looked fantastic. I was into her outfit choices.
You know, I found I was saddened by all three of our friends coming back in The Force Awakens.
Harrison Ford was grumpy as ever.
Yep, and obviously he died, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers, but fuck you, that came out years ago. So he died, and he was also just like, I don't know, he seemed beaten. He had this, he wasn't talking to his wife, and they were supposed to be this like great love, and their son was a villain. And then Princess Leia was cool, but like you, I think she's gonna die very soon, killed by her son. Or who thinks that? You do.
Me. Yeah.
And then I thought that Luke was so sad when we finally saw him on that fucking island thing. Yeah, all by himself, first of all. People don't even believe he exists.
He's got some sheep he's fucking or something. No way.
Sticking rocks up his ass or some kind of thing. And he's like, he doesn't seem happy. Yeah. None of them seem happy. I was heartbroken that none of them were happy.
You know what? It makes sense, though, because especially for Leia, like, she's been in this battle for decades. Like, she is,
true.
like, since A New
life.
Hope, she's like, yeah, we destroyed the Death Star. She thought it was all turning up roses, and it wasn't. It was turning up balls of shit, and ain't been nothing but shit since then. Yeah. Her marriage failed. Her son's a fucking Sith Lord. Like, shit is not going good for her. So, I feel her on that. And Harrison Ford, he just eternally grumpy and ungrateful for Chewbacca, the true love of his life.
Yeah, that's why I'm interested to see the Solo movie or see where it's going. Just because, like, I mean, I feel like I got enough Han Solo in the first three. Like, I thought it was a weird choice to go for that movie. I mean, I think it could be fun, and there's lots of adventures they could go on because they could just make up whatever. Like, because he's basically just a pirate, you know.
I just remembered that Donald Glover got cast as a young Lando Calrissian, and now I'm excited all over again. Yeah. He was like made for that role. Yeah. Good for him. It's great.
I think I don't think it'll be bad. I'm just like, it's not the next non-episode movie that I wanted.
That Boba Fett movie would have been interesting.
Boba Fett, and then they're doing Kenobi after this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's going to be the next.
Is that Obi-Wan?
Ewan McGregor.
With Ewan McGregor? Now, I might be there for that.
Yeah, I'm interested, but still, it's like, kind of got enough of, you know.
Yeah, agreed. Like, tell us something new.
Tell me something about Boba Fett, who I've been wanting to know more about, you know, forever.
Jar Jar Binks.
Did he escape?
Star Wars.
What was he doing?
That'd be a great April Fool's joke for them to play, to be like, this is the one. Haha, just kidding. We hate him too.
You know what? I want them to do a web series in which the protagonist is that real slimy, real pale guy who's
Nick Parker.
I'm leaving. You should all listen to my podcast, The Beauty Alone. No! No.
That's the title of your memoir.
Yes, it is. No, he's Jabba the Hutt's little friend, and they do the mind control thing, and he's got that...
He looks like a front rock fucker.
Yeah, I want to know what his life is like. I want it to be a comedy, and I want it to be about him living in the big city before he goes to live with Jabba and, like, having a roommate.
You're so smart.
I am a genius.
Sounds like a great movie.
Can I tell you, because we actually just mentioned some of it, my top 5 things that I think are undeniably lovable about Star Wars.
Yes.
Sure. Can I go into that? Because, you know, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan for reasons I've explained, but I think there are some things that no matter how hateful you are about this series, you have to admit these things are awesome. Mm-hmm. So my number 5, we've mentioned already, is Rey.
So wonderful.
She's the hero I've been waiting for. Mm-hmm. You know, I hope they don't fuck her up by making her all about a man.
Girl, me too.
We're gonna find out though.
I don't think they will though, because she didn't have no problems leaving Finn behind. She's like, "We'll see you, girl. True. Bye."
I hope they don't, but we'll find out. But she's like, everyone loves her, right? Isn't she just like loved? Beloved?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
So my number 4, we were just talking about Obi-Wan. I know I didn't say he was my favorite character, but both incarnations, old Obi-Wan, young Obi-Wan, I felt like Obi-Wan was the best part of the prequel trilogy. Like, he was really what kept it going for me.
And Ian McGregor is so good.
Yeah. Such a good actor. I mean, so talented.
He's definitely the best part of the trilogy. I mean, besides Liam Neeson, like, I think... But he was the thing that held it together in the first one. I got
such a big crush on him in those movies, too, and I follow his career intensely.
Mm-hmm. I like his age progression in the prequels, too.
His little beard. Mm-hmm. He's so wise. He has the most beautiful accent. Everything is working.
Gorgeous eyes. Yeah, I'm all about it. And also, I just love the Obi-Wan character because he is a very good character, almost a saint, but he does stumble. I mean, he does have to do bad things. He does have to do painful things. And I just think he has a really fascinating story. Love that man. Let's see. Number 3, the scores. John Williams score.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the music from Star Wars.
Classic.
We started the episode with that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the most iconic thing of all of Star Wars.
Definitely.
The music.
That's the thing they did kind of disappointingly in the prequels is when they reprised the Imperial March. They did not do it full out or as well as they should have. Honestly, that was a letdown.
I don't even remember the music in the prequels, actually. John Williams did that music, I think.
Yeah, he's done all of them. Yeah, except for Rogue One.
Let's see. In number 2, we were actually talking about this earlier again. Yoda with that fucking lightsaber. Yeah. Girl, I could watch Yoda do anything if he has a lightsaber in his hand. Like cut grass. Sweet. I'm down, man. And all his little flip. I will never forget when we saw him fight, because it wasn't that fight we were talking about earlier. It was some earlier fight. He fights someone for the first time. First time we ever get to see him fight. In like a hangar or something.
The Palpatine fight.
Was that the very first one we saw?
No, that's at the end of Revenge, or towards the end.
In any case.
You'll never forget it.
The first time I saw his flip his little wizened green ass all over the room, I was like, girl, I did not see this shit coming. I did not see it coming.
Throw your cane down and start flipping around.
Girl. Pretty great. Oh my god. I'm waiting on the data on Frasier to do that. And then my number 1 favorite thing is that, especially episode 4, but really the entire sort of universe is based on John Campbell's hero's journey, or like the monomyth, which is this idea he has about storytelling and myth making that you can apply to ancient Greek poetry, you can apply it to Greek tragedy and Roman tragedy, and you can apply it to folktales and urban myths and Star Wars. It's the story we tell ourselves over and over and over. And essentially what it is it's the story of a hero who is called to adventure and resists the urge, meets a mentor. I hope you're connecting us to Star Wars. We're starting in episode 4, right? Definitely. Meets his little mentor, crosses the threshold from the normal world, say a desert. What do they farm out there? Like sand?
Water.
Water?
Yeah.
Oh, that's ironic.
Moisture farmers.
Oh, it's a moisture farm. Okay. So he starts off in this normal world, right? And then the hero is always pulled into, Campbell calls it the underworld, but it's just like a more magical version of the reality that the protagonist knew, right? So in Star Wars, that's when Luke and Obi travel out into space, and they sort of meet allies, and they undergo tests. They meet Chewie and Han, and then they go through some kind of ordeal, overcome a great evil, and then go back into the normal world, like the road back into the world. So, like, for example, at the end of episode 4... they attack the Death Star, blow that shit up. Luke gets to talk to Obi's voice or whatever and learns the story behind all of that shit. And then they return and they get their little medals, except for Chewie. And we think the Empire is destroyed, though of course it's not, right? But that's like, that story... That story is the story. And really, if you look at fantasy or fable or myth, it all follows that story. So I thought that was really smart. And actually, John Campbell was a huge... I keep calling him John Campbell. His name is Joseph Campbell.
Yeah.
Joseph Campbell. Sorry about that. Joseph Campbell was a friend of George Lucas. He was a mentor.
Oh, that's cute. I didn't know that, actually.
Yes. And when George Lucas was writing the original Star Wars trilogy, he multiple times went and hung out with Joseph Campbell. And so it's like a real thing. It's not just like, oh, coincidence. It's built into the movies.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a thing to love, right? Even if you're a curmudgeonly like me.
Aw, curmudgeonly.
Aww.
Now, Mick, thank you for bringing that top 5 for us.
You're welcome.
Did you have some secret histories that you wanted to share?
Well, so Morgie, that's actually what it was. The secret history of Star Wars as a modern myth. Right? And that's following Joseph
the modern
Campbell's.
myth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it.
But I think it is a secret history because people don't fucking know that. And
It's true.
It is. I think it's one of the things that made Star Wars such a huge hit is it's a story that we actually know.
Yeah.
It's a story that human beings have told themselves over and over
Yeah,
and
it's,
over.
I mean, it's good versus evil. It's someone, it's the kind of underdog story. It's all these kind of things put together. And
The story of personal growth and like risk and like what do you get from that risk? And
destiny, like what are you meant to do?
So another thing to add to a shopping list for the Star Wars fan, novels or stories by Joseph Campbell.
Yes, he's got, I would recommend A Hero with 1,000 Faces, I think it's called.
And that's the one that's particularly that influenced Star Wars.
Yeah, oh, you read it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the one you should pick up first, but he's got thousands. There's even not thousands, he's got like 7 or 8
He's
books.
got 1,000 faces.
Thousands. There's also a PBS series where he and some PBS guy talk through it. And it's like hours long, but it is fucking fascinating.
Oh, that'd be fun to listen to.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, well let's jump right in it with a little talk about The Force Awakens leading into The Last Jedi. So The Force Awakens, we've talked a lot about it already. We love Rey. We're not sure about the inclusion of like the original cast. Maybe less is more. Kylo Ren. Let's talk about this new character that is Kylo Ren.
I mean, he's just a big whiny baby, basically. I mean, he's like super powerful. You get to see a freaking awesome scene at the beginning where he like stops the like bolt in the midair.
Like he's unequivocally like very powerful and
like
incredible.
you don't see that at all, like in the whole history. And then he's just doing it like willy nilly and freaking holding it there.
That was beautiful.
And it was freaking awesome. But he just has a temper, which goes hand in hand with Sith.
Yeah, I like when somebody gave him bad news and he like freaked out and like destroyed everything and he was like, anything else?
How many times does he like pick up his lightsaber and just smash everything around him?
Frequently.
Like it happens like 3 or 4 times in that movie.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 times.
That boy has some problems.
I think Adam Driver is such a brilliant choice for that too because he is so weird and awkward but also like hilarious and foreboding, like already just on his own, like he brings all of that to the table. So like what an interesting choice for them, right? Because he is famous for girls and like nothing else until the Star Wars thing, and he's doing a lot of things now. He's in like a ton of stuff. His career is going fucking awesome. But right, they just like straight picked him off the set of Girls and dropped him into Star Wars and made him a movie star.
Gave him a greasy black wig and said, "Go, girl."
Okay, yes, greasy black wig. The like big question on everyone's mind about Kylo Ren, is he hot or not?
I can't decide.
I have no idea.
Decide.
It's tough. I mean, he's definitely better looking in this movies than like Girls because he was like real gross.
You like his Farrah Fawcett hair?
It's like it's basically hides his giant fucking stupid ears.
Oh, see, I love those ears. Those ears are just handles for me. I think you know what I'm trying to say.
That's fair. You have a different perspective.
But like, okay, his face, we're all undecided on that.
He's
but
just
the whole package, it's like...
The package of Kylo Ren.
It's tall.
Uh-huh.
It's lean.
Vaguely Native American in its beauty.
It's ethnically ambiguous.
Oh, yes! Just like What's-Her-Face from Parks and Rec.
Oh, Anne.
It's just like Anne from Parks and Rec. In fact, that would be a beautiful couple.
Oh, yeah.
Kylo Ren and Anne from Parks and Rec.
A match made in heaven. We're shipping that. It's truly hard to tell though, and I think that's one of the most interesting factors because, like, undeniably, like Oscar Isaacs, yes, beautiful, attractive person,
good looking dude.
Daisy Ridley, the lady who plays Rey,
gorgeous,
lovely,
yeah.
dainty. Kylo Ren.
I mean, I feel like if he had like a great personality,
which he does not.
Well, that's the thing, exactly.
Like,
right?
he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good looking dude. Look how nice he is." But he's like, "No, this is just a giant fucking like preteen boy that has way too much power."
And who killed Han Solo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which is. There's a lot of theories around that because he asks his dad, he asks Han or whatever, like, I need help, will you help me? And Han Solo's like, I'll do anything to help you. Well, what if the thing he needed to help him was he had to kill him to let Snoke think that he was like super deeply a bad person, but in real life he's really not a bad person. There's a lot of mystery. So that's the other thing, is that you don't know what's
did
going
Han
on.
push the button to turn, did Han kill himself with the lightsaber?
Yeah, we don't know
You
what's
know.
going
Oh,
on.
that's a possibility?
Yeah. So that's one of the
I
theories.
missed that.
Because you just see the saber like coming through him,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of gray area with Kylo Ren as far as morality and also with sexuality, because we're undecided on all of it. So he's a really intriguing character. I love what they've done with him, and I love how powerful he is. Like, it's insane the power that he has.
But he's untrained. Like, he's got this raw power, whereas like Rey has that same thing, but I don't know, she's like more in tune with it, or like, I don't know.
She's got that feminine calm touch.
I guess it's just kind of like light versus dark, It's like what? Yeah.
So that's interesting. In this so I assume we all watched the trailer. I know you guys did.
8 times.
Yeah, I knew. So in the trailer, I mean, of course they cut things to make you think whatever, but it does seem like Rey might be flirting with the dark side, right? In this new movie.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that Rey will save Kylo Ren, or vice versa, Kylo Ren will, what's the opposite of save?
Kill?
Well, pull Rey down into the muck of the dark side.
I think that's a definite possibility, but there's no way she goes evil forever. She might dabble in some
I
questionable
definitely.
activities.
Well, my overarching arc that I think is basically that Kylo Ren is basically kind of like a spy for the rebellion, whereas like he is trying to get into Snoke and like shut the First Order down.
And Snoke is a mystery.
And he's got to prove himself to Snoke, which we still don't know who the hell Snoke is. So I don't think he's
Snoke
really
is that
evil.
Big foreboding figure.
Yeah, played by...
He's the new Emperor.
he's played by our boy, Gollum, Smeagol.
Oh, I didn't know
Andy
that,
Serkis.
actually. Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah! You can hardly tell.
yeah.
That poor man. He's such a talented actor, but they just won't let him put his face on screen.
Well,
He got the beginning of the return.
I guess that's true.
He got like 3 minutes.
So you are of the... Well, maybe you could...
And I mean, that's the one I kind of... I'm thinking, but I don't think it makes sense.
But wouldn't he tell his mother, though?
No, I mean, I think you have to like keep...
Maybe
I mean, I
Luke
think she would
knows.
already know.
because he was training with Luke, and supposedly why Luke exiled himself, right, is because he failed, because Kylo Ren went to the dark side, but maybe it was the front, and they're in it together.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be a lot of things. And then I also think, like, basically, because there's the Jedi and the Sith, right? So I think why they're getting the Last Jedi title is basically because they think the Jedi Order is just done. Like, because basically there's Anakin's apprentice, Ahsoka Tano, brought up earlier. She gave up the Order. So she's like a gray Jedi, who's kind of just somewhere in the middle. So she's still a Force wielder. She's still a fucking badass, but she's not saying like, I'm good or evil. She's saying like, sometimes you gotta do bad shit. You can't just be a righteous person 100% of the time. Sometimes you're gonna fuck up, and like, smash something, you know, like it's not just so cut and dry. So I think that's what I think it's gonna be.
You know who was a terrible person 100% of the time? Our boy Domhnall Gleeson playing the Hitler Nazi motherfucker. Well, I can't remember his name.
General Hux.
General Hux. He was scary. Speaking of Ex Machina, he was the dude also in Ex Machina, Mick, the redhead guy who goes there. So,
what?
Yeah, so him and Oscar Isaac in another movie together.
I don't know nobody.
Yeah, so I love Domhnall Gleeson. He's in that About Time movie that I plugged a couple eps ago.
Harry Potter?
He was fucking Charlie in Harry Potter, playing with Dragon Scale. I love everything he does. His career's going so well. He's doing so great. He was a Hitler-ass Nazi bitch.
Scary.
It was scary.
Well, you know, he's supposed to be joined in this new movie by Benicio del Toro, playing a character named DJ. And we don't know, they haven't, of course, said much about this character, but knowing Benicio del Toro, I bet he's going to play a villain. Yeah, I mean, he plays villains so well. Hardly ever does he not play
Makes sense.
But when you got the face.
I mean, you know, he's got that sleek, he looks like a Bond villain. He's just one of those people, so. Whereas I look like a Bond girl. People say that a lot. And Morgan looks like an octopussy.
Aww. Whatever, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed seeing him. I felt like the cast was really good.
I'm sorry, mind blown. Do you know 3 of the people who are playing stormtroopers in the next movie?
No, but I know that Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper in this last movie. So who are they getting?
So first and foremost, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Girl.
But no face?
No face. There will be face. Because Tom Hardy's playing one.
So he's actually having like a role. Because, are you sure he's having like a role and he's not just like stormtrooper?
Okay, well, here's the thing. How much do you think they had to pay Tom Hardy to be in these movies?
Well, because that's what I'm saying.
A lot of times
Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper in the last movie, but just because he wanted to be in a Star Wars movie. But he only had one line and he just walked away.
Oh, well, maybe
He was the dude when Rey finally figured out that she could do things with the Force, and she's like, "You will unhandcuff me and let me out of this room."
Yeah.
And Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper that was like, "I will unhandcuff you."
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe he won't. But that's a fucking waste. That's a stupid fucking waste. They should at least give him a halfy mask so we can see his lips.
Which is really, that's his whole shtick.
I mean,
he usually covers up the bottom half of his face.
That's true. He does like to do that, doesn't he? Yeah, but no, this time we're going to go opposite. I don't care about from the nose up, really. I want those lips.
Yeah, he's pretty.
And then 2 princes, both William and Harry.
What?
They'll be helmeted stormtroopers, I'm sure. But they are both going to play stormtroopers.
That's
funny.
Silly.
Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah, to be a prince, man.
Yeah. Disney's
Speaking
like, okay.
of stormtroopers, can we talk about Captain Phasma for a second and how fucking awesome she is?
Is that Laura Dern? No, that's someone else.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
From
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that was her. She never took off her mask, right?
Yeah, I think... If I remember correctly, she got
that chrome one.
Yeah,
and she got the chrome from you know what?
Ooh, the Thor.
Something that we've seen. It was like supposed to be from a Naboo starfighter, from like the first one.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, the starfighters and like the really shiny like starfighters and like the prequels.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like crafted from one of those.
Like took a chunk off and.
Well, why did she get to wear it? Why is she? Everyone else got wear it.
Because she's a fucking captain.
Okay. Well, she didn't seem like the captain when Finn came back and he hit her in the face with a thing.
Was that when he had that little shocky stick? He hit her with the shocky stick?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Y'all, Finn had the best one-liners. Like, he had all the good lines. I like when he was so awkward and talking to Ray, and he was like, "You got a boyfriend? Cute boyfriend?" And she was like, "What?" It was great. He's great.
You know, I will admit to you, I'm excited to see their fight. I'm excited to see her unmasked and all that stuff. I was a little upset to learn just moments ago that Finn is not the same breed of stormtrooper that we've been seeing forever. But just because I thought it was really innovative that they were taking a stormtrooper who had always been little more than a slave robot and making it into a person. And with my utter lack of Star Wars knowledge, I thought that the entire fucking movie. And I was like, this is amazing. Because the plot of that last movie, we've seen that before. Not that I'm complaining about that. It wasn't super innovative in a lot of ways, but I was like, oh, but this is innovative. Right. But I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's this whole basically because clones are expensive, and that's like they don't have that money, so they're like basically just kidnapping and enslaving and mind washing,
which makes sense, of course. Yeah,
why not?
That's what you do.
It's better. It's for I guess you get to mind wash longer and train them longer. I don't fucking know but I guess it's just you don't have to pay for them outright. You're just like, they're free.
Yeah.
You just gotta house them for 18 fucking years. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding. So I guess we'll continue to see more, probably learn more about the stormtroopers, especially with Captain Phasma and like any other characters, and the whole stuff with Finn. And we're gonna learn more about the motives behind Kylo Ren, and hopefully we'll find out is Rey a Skywalker? Like, what's the deal with that? What's her heritage? Why is it so secretive? Like, I don't think she is a Skywalker, but like, why is it such a secret? What is it? Like, it's got to be something big.
So
Can't be
either she's a Skywalker, or she was born from the Force, like Anakin.
Because that's what. Would be fine too.
Right? Yeah. Anakin just popped out the Force.
Well,
he had a Virgin Mary mother.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because he's born of the Force. That's
his
why
metachlorians are off the chart.
And there was like what's it called when there's like a prophecy about him.
Okay. But not Leia. She came out of a normal.
Anakin is
Anakin one
Vader.
up.
Darth Vader.
He was born from the Force.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's my prediction for this. I think because you made me think of this, Messick, because you said earlier that Kylo Ren is a Skywalker, right? Because Leia's his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Rey is the daughter of some dark side figure. And I think the two of them are going to come together at the end of this third movie, restart the Jedi, but it's not going to be dark side, light side. It's all going to be that gray side shit you were talking about. And blend the two so that we don't have to have this fight anymore.
But we need to make money, so we gotta have a little fight. So we can
we at this point, that's the thing. It's never going to die because there's a whole universe of stories to tell.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Theory, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be. It's got The Last Jedi for a reason, so I feel like it's gonna be the end of that. And maybe Luke's gonna die, so maybe he's the last Jedi, like the true Jedi that's out there.
Mm-hmm. And maybe there'll be a new thing. These two.
Yeah, and I mean, the Force isn't going anywhere. So there's other species out there that are Force wielders, that they've introduced in other series and stuff.
It's also really questionable, the Kylo Rey situation, because he knows something about her. Because when he hears that there was like a girl, like he instantly knows that she's like important before anyone else does. So if he was in on it with Luke, like maybe they knew about her and they strategically placed her in a sad desert land so they could follow back up with her later when they were ready. So maybe that's why he was so shocked. I don't know. There's a big secret with Rey, obviously, and I can't wait to find out because I fucking hate secrets. Like when Brittany had a secret and she was like, I can't tell you because it's a secret. I was like, no, we're friends. That's why we're friends, so you can tell me all your secrets.
Messick and I have a secret, and we'll tell you if you just pay us $20 each.
Mm-hmm.
You know
it's a good secret.
You're both dead to me if you have a secret, so that's where we're at with that.
I have a lot of secrets, girl. Keep it secret.
No, I'll keep it safe. Ugh. So I'm really anxious to figure that out. What else is going to be happening that's exciting that we saw in that preview besides Porgs, which we're excited about? So cute.
I would say Porgs, because we started off talking about this. Mm-hmm. To me, they're going to be, I don't think they're going to be a Jar Jar Binks. I also am not confident they're going to be like a Baby Groot either. Because Baby Groot was awesome. There was none wrong with Baby Groot. That cuteness did not slow me down.
Well, he proved himself in the first one.
Exactly. Yeah, so we loved him anyway. He didn't have to be awesome in this one. That's a great point. You're right. So the Porgs, we don't have any history with.
So I want them to be like at least some story or something behind it, or like how they get on the Millennium Falcon. Did they sneak on? Or something like, oh, now these things are just like, oh, these are here now. You know,
they
like,
need to be more than like Furbies, essentially.
Because I mean, that's all they are, and that's what like my theory was. Like, they just had they found a bunch of old Furbies, and they're like, we're gonna repackage these fuckers,
Furbies are
and we need
creepy.
something, dude. They're so fucking creepy.
Horrible. They were creepy, but I never was a Furby
No.
kid.
I had
one.
a Furby,
I
and
had
that
one.
motherfucker would wake
You
up
had-
in the middle of the
yeah.
night and he'd be like, Furby! And I'd be like, I know I took the batteries out that motherfucker.
Smash it with a shovel.
And then somehow he's back together
I
again.
know, it's weird.
Furby. They're like kind of cute though.
No,
But mostly creepy.
Yeah,
Really?
so creepy.
Kind of cute.
I don't like their little beak mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
hmm
You can imagine that? Like,
I mean, the main thing. So you get to see. I mean, it looks a lot like Empire, so it's kind of like where they're going. You get to see these freaking gorilla walkers.
ooh, those are cool.
They're like, they're just like, everything's like amped up to the max with the First Order. And it's like, it looks like snow, but I'm pretty sure it's like a salt planet. So it's all kind of like a lot of the same energy or imagery from Empire. Get to see Rey being a fucking like crazy powerful badass, cracking like stones with the Force.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And Luke being like scared as fuck about like how powerful she is. So, and I'm guessing the other person is either his father or the person he originally trained, which was Kylo. Is what I think.
What do you mean the other person?
Because he says it in the previews, like, I've seen this power before. And
Oh, I thought that was Darth Vader, but
Yeah.
it could be.
could be.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I think it's Kylo Ren is who he's in combat. Because, I mean, he kind of saw Darth Vader's power, but not to, like, that extent, you know? Like, they had that battle.
Well, and Darth Vader, was he more powerful, from what we know, than Luke / Kylo / Rey? Like, where did their power? Do we know how they are?
Ooh, I'd love to
comparatively?
see a chart.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke is definitely on the low spectrum. Like, he wasn't...
Vader's at the most powerful.
He was the most powerful, like I think...
his midichlorians were like, damn.
Off the charts?
Yeah. I think, I mean, Palpatine and him were probably pretty close.
Okay. And Darth, you mean? Darth
yeah.
Vader? Okay.
Yeah. And I think just because Palpatine was just like so old, you know, like, and he was just, because you never really see Vader do the lightning, and that's the main thing that like the Sith Lords do.
Yeah, you like never see him do that.
Does that have
But
something
he's
to
like
do with
such a
this-
fucking badass with the lightsaber.
Well, and he's
And
got
his-
that mind control on
Yeah.
lockdown. He was not afraid to choke a motherfucker.
Girl, no.
Choke a bitch.
Choke more
That was
boys
like
than I
his
do.
that's his standby.
Yeah.
Does that? I thought he couldn't do. I thought I read somewhere on some Wikipedia bullshit that he can't do the lightning because of all of his implant things.
Probably that might
Like
make
it would
sense.
fuck up his.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
He has,
makes
like, a
sense,
pacemaker or some
actually.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like,
Yeah, he's mostly robot.
Yeah.
oh, that's so interesting.
So my last little question about this: do you think, when all is said and done, do you think that this new trilogy is going to be able to stand next to the original in a way that the prequels do not do?
I think they will. If they stick with this, what they've done with The Force Awakens, I don't see how they could fuck it up because it's so widely well received.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's definitely gonna. Yeah, I think it'll definitely stand up. I mean, it's just gonna be this generation's, you know, that original trilogy. It's gonna be what they grew up with. But a lot of people, if you grow up with like kids who are like 5, 6 in like the late 90s, they really like the prequels. Like that's their Star Wars.
Someone does.
I mean, I was 5'6" in the early 90s.
No, late 90s, girl.
I was 5'6" in the late 90s.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's. I think it's just going to be the next generation Star Wars. It's exciting to have that. I think it's definitely going to be. They're already better. I mean, Force Awakens was better than the prequels put together. So
Fuck yes.
Well, you know, and money and like time and like computer graphics go a long way after 40 years.
Yeah.
So like they have a lot more to show for it now. So it's good that they're doing good things with it and not doing shitty things with it, which they definitely could be. I mean, it's hard to say though because we have J.J. Abrams with that first one, so we don't.
yeah,
You know, we
he
don't have a
crushed
look
it
at the
for
second
sure.
one yet. So, and they're bringing J.J. Abrams back for the last movie, aren't they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they are. I think I read that.
Well, that's actually.
No, I thought it was the guy who directed Fate. Fast and the Furious 8.
Oh, Fate of the Furious.
Well, just so you know, this director for this one, for The Last Jedi, it's Rian Johnson, who did Breaking Bad. Directed a bunch of Breaking Bad episodes.
So it should be dark.
It might be real gritty. I feel like they set us up for some real grit.
Yeah.
Well, they
in this
did.
next one, so.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Adam Driver does.
Who does Drake?
I just finished binge watching Girls like kind of recently, and I watched all of the. I think I've already said this on the podcast. I watched the behind the scenes of like the making of like the whole last season with Lena Dunham, and she was talking about how when they went into filming that final season, how epic it was for them to see people flocking to the set and treating Adam like he was like this royalty, because he is now. He's this like, he's a part of like the biggest franchise in the world, and he's like a really great character and people love him. And so she said it was like before, you know, people would like kind of bother them and be like, oh, it's the girls people, but now everyone bothers them and they're like, fuck, get out of my way, it's Adam Driver, which is just like a cute thing for him.
I'm happy for him.
I am too.
I want him to have all the success.
And I think he's a really good actor, so that goes a long way.
Colin Trevorrow is directing, or supposed to be directing the last one.
Okay.
And he did Safety Not Guaranteed in Jurassic World. That's what he directed.
I was not. I mean, Jurassic World left a lot to be
But
desired.
Safety Not Guaranteed was awesome.
Was great.
But at least he knows how to handle a big budget.
That's true. Yeah, he's been there, done that.
So maybe can combine the two. Because Safety Not Guaranteed was a fucking awesome movie if you haven't seen it. Well,
unless you guys have anything else to add, why don't we hop in the X-Wing and take a trip over to the Game Planet?
Game Planet.
I think that's a solid sound.
Yeah, I was really happy with that.
Pew, pew, pew.
Alrighty, my friends. So now that we've finished up our deep and very insightful discussion, I would like to take you into the studio. I'm going to put on my Alex Trebek mustache, and you two are going to be contestants on Star Wars Jeopardy! Morgan, it's not time for that. Get out.
But Alex, I just got here.
Okay, my friends. So there are only two categories. This is, I guess, mini Jeopardy.
Okay.
You've got the dark side.
100,
200, 500. Three questions. And you've got the force. 100, 200, 500. Three questions.
Do we get a daily double?
There is a daily double on here. There is a daily double. Morgie, could I ask you, would it bother you terribly to be my points
Scorekeeper
person?
emeritus?
Yes. Would you mind? Because you know my brain isn't really capable.
And I'm not
of
partial at all to my personal winning.
Oh, shit. All right, so since we know Morgan's going to cheat, Messick, I'm going to let you pick first, okay?
That's fair.
I'm going to go out strong. The Force 500.
Oh, shit!
That's what I was going to pick.
Well, that's a little awkward because that was going to be your daily double, but you ain't got no money. So I'm going to just switch it to somewhere else, okay? But just so you know, you got your daily double. That was awesome. Does this happen to Alex Trebek? Has this ever happened on Jeopardy where
I'm
they pick
sure
the
it
daily
has.
double right off the bat?
I
I
don't know.
think you can still bet. You would just go negative.
Oh, okay, so good. You're right. You're right. Okay, so great. So, before I ask you this question, remember, this is a hard one about the Force. Decide how much you're going to bet.
Wait, how do we ring in?
You go, there's my answer, I'm saying it.
Okay.
Just like that. Mm-hmm. And I'll decide who gets the point if that's the case.
I'm going to go 500. Oh, but we both have to come up with answers because it's a daily double, or just whoever answers first?
So I think with the daily double, it's been a hot minute. Like, I bet, and then you ask me the question, and if I can't get it, then it goes on.
That's true. That's a good point. Okay, so
So
how much are you going to bet, Messick?
1,000.
1,000.
Well,
That's
he's
really
feeling
iffy.
smart.
Okay, if he gets this wrong, though, you essentially just won.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Messick.
Maybe he shouldn't. Maybe he should be allowed to go to 1,000 if we want it to be a fair game. Maybe like 500.
He gets 1,000 though.
Okay,
Going out strong.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I'm probably going to get wrong.
You could technically still win, Morgan, if you
Okay.
get every other.
Okay.
Okay, so Messick, Your daily double for 1,000. Don't forget to put it as a question, okay? This group of learners are known to grow and wear braids to symbolize their rank. This group of learners.
Now this is bullshit.
Messick.
I'm trying to think of the appropriate way to phrase it, but what are Padawans?
You got it!
I win!
That's 1,000 points!
This is my face right now.
You know what I'll do, Morgan? This other 500 is going to be worth 800 instead, okay? So you still have a fighting chance. I'm having to change everything. This white man ruined my plan.
Or just make it another daily double.
No. Shh. Okay, so daily double is done. Okay, so Morgan, Messick's looking real good with 1,000 points already. Where are you gonna go?
I think I'm gonna have to go dark side 800.
You're just gonna. Okay, so the rest of the game is useless, is what you two have done.
Why?
Yeah, it's useless. You start at the biggest. No one ever starts at the biggest. I hate you guys.
Well, he started.
Not when you're.
I hated him too. Okay, Morgie. This is the real name of Adam Driver's gorgeous, moody character, Kylo Ren.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Can I buzz in?
Shh. Okay. Let me go into my mind palace and dig up that thing where he said his name. It was.
Time's up, bitch!
Andrew Solo.
Who? You knew that shit was wrong. You couldn't get that name out.
It's Ben Solo.
It's Ben Solo!
After Ben Kenobi. That's right.
Exactly.
Damn.
And that's also, little known fact, what I say when people are like, how have you been, Mick? I'm like,
Solo.
Ben Solo!
Love that.
All right, so Morgan's staying strong with negative 800. Messick has 1,000. So it's a close game. It's a close game. Yeah. Messick, where are you going to go, my bae?
Let's do the Force 100.
Oh, okay. The Force for 100. This was an event. No, that's the wrong side. Sorry. The Force. The Force sensitive feel a blank in the Force anytime there's a great loss of life in the universe. Great loss of life. I feel a blank.
Oh, disturbance. What is a disturbance?
Yes, good job, Messick. I mean, I could technically say you didn't get that right because you forgot to put it as a question. I'm not going to do that. Okay.
That's fine. You can deduct 100.
Got it.
Morgie, where are you going to go?
Mickey, I will take the dark side for 100, please.
All right. Nice. Good choice. This was an event at the end of the Clone Wars in which the Jedi's clones turned against them and destroyed the Jedi Order.
Like, what is the event called? At the end of the Clone Wars?
We actually mentioned it earlier. And there's a number. There's a number in it.
A number?
Am I being unfair, Messick? Was that like...
I mean, I know what
description?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure
An
it's not
event
like
at the end of the Clone Wars in which the clones...
Well, it's an event at the end...
that led to the clones' uprising.
It's at the end of Revenge.
Time's up, bitch!
Order 66.
What? You didn't even give me a... I definitely wasn't
He
going to...
said time's up, bitch!
First of all, I was in the middle of forming the words "what is," and I was going to have a witty answer, and you stomped on my parade.
I'm sorry.
But I
we'll edit it in.
legit
Just change it around.
Okay.
So that's a negative 900 there for Morgie. Doing real good, Morgie. I believe in you, baby. Messick, you've got two good choices. Which one are you going to go for?
I'll go Dark Side 200.
Ooh, so you chose the dark side.
Well,
I knew you were that girl.
Morgan was just... I didn't want to leave her with all Dark Side.
Yeah, because I definitely knew all the answers to the other side, and I haven't known any of the dark side answers.
Yeah, that's true. That's well said. Yeah. Okay, so we actually mentioned these earlier, too. These walkers are an update on the originals. They're shaped like a gorilla, and they have a cannon on their backs. Why do they call the new walkers?
I honestly don't know. Harambe walkers?
Oh,
Yes, really good
R.I.P.
guess. No, they're called ATM6s.
Oh,
That's what the new ones are
I
called.
didn't know.
So that's a negative 200 for Messick, but he's still losing. He's still losing, I'm sure. Morgie, you have many choices. This is just like real life.
Mickey, I'll take the Force for 200.
Ooh, interesting choice. Didn't see it coming. Okay, love. These microscopic life forms allow their host to sense the Force.
What is midichlorian?
Yes! There we go!
I just, always knew this day would come.
Yes, you mean the day in
you.
which you would lose by 900 points to Messick at Star Wars Jeopardy?
No, I lost by negative. I lost by 1,600 points, Mickey.
But you got
What
the
is
last one right.
1,600?
You got the last one right, and that's
what's
what really
important.
matters. Right?
Wow. That was great. Thank
Good
you.
job, friend.
It was great.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm sorry, I came out too strong. Just going for that daily double.
Girl, well, that's okay. How can I be mad at you for a little bit of ambition? You know, go hard, go strong.
What he said. Okay. I have just a very, very short which one. There's a lot of things to choose between in the Star Wars universe, but I just picked a couple that I want to talk about today. Okay? So I'm going to present this which one to the both of you, and you can just answer in turn when you feel like it. Okay?
Okay.
R2-D2 or BB-8? Which one?
I mean, I already said R2-D2 is my favorite.
Okay. Mickey, which one?
I ain't seeing that Rogue One, so I don't even know who
no,
she is.
BB-8's a little rolly one.
He's
in
the
first
rolly-
Oh, that's
one.
the Roly one.
Yeah.
Oh, still R2-D2. I'm gonna go.
I mean, I have more attachment to R2. I mean, we'll see after this series. Maybe BB. He is super funny. He had some really good moments. He had the little the
Thumbs
lighter.
up.
Yeah, thumbs up. That was so cute.
Yeah, him and Fenn are cute together. Okay. Han Solo or Luke Skywalker?
Luke Skywalker.
Han Solo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Han Solo is he's just a better character. For one, he's a much better actor. I mean, I love Mark Hamill, but that boy doesn't have the acting chops.
All right. A New Hope or The Force Awakens?
A New Hope.
The Force Awakens.
Combative.
It just it has more nostalgia. It's all about that.
Did I pick the new one?
Yes.
I literally don't know which halls are which, so I just picked one.
Oh, you did great.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, they're
Balance each other out.
exactly the same movie. They just remade it 40 years later.
With a female protagonist,
Preach.
which is big.
Okay. Star Wars video games or Star Wars board games?
Oh, Messick's head might explode. It's happening. Shield your eyes.
And by board games, I include X-Wing miniatures.
It's tough. I mean, I think board games just because X-Wing is such a big part of my life. But there are several good video games. I feel like I don't know. Yeah, I just spent more time playing X-Wing at this point than playing video games.
Fair enough.
I think I would do video games because I've never played a Star Wars board game to my knowledge, but I definitely played one of the very early Star Wars flying games, and it was fun. I remember. I think it was that scene where you're supposed to wrap the rope around the walker's legs.
Probably Rogue Squadron.
Maybe I couldn't do that shit. That's why
Dude,
it
that's
was
tough.
hard as hell.
On the 64.
that's
Dude, that shit
exactly
is
what it was.
fucking impossible.
Oh, okay, good. So I wasn't just an asshole because I was
No.
like, I just can't do this. I tried for hours and I gave up.
It's rough.
Let's see.
All right, good call. You guys remember there was some Star Wars video games on the Super Nintendo? They were hella hard.
Super Nintendo games in general are pretty freaking hard.
That's true.
Hard.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, those. Yeah, I think we have all of them. Or Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, they're nigh impossible.
Are they side scrollers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're kind of fun though. Okay, two more. Leia? No, three more. Leia or Rey?
Ooh. Oh, that's really hard.
I mean, I'm going to go back to nostalgia and say Leia. I mean, I like... We'll see. After the whole trilogy is completed, I'll see where Rey's at. I love her right now. She's fucking awesome.
I'm gonna choose Rey because she was on my How Can You Not Love Her list. I just feel like I'd be a hypocrite not to, but I have to say that's really difficult. And if I had to shoot one of them, I'd just have to close my eyes and shoot.
I know.
It's true.
Honestly.
Well, it's like Leia's so great because like the rebels wouldn't be where they're at without her. She's like literally led them for decades, but then they're probably not going to be able to make it through this wave without Rey because she's intrinsically powerful and important.
Well, and that's the thing too, is Leia isn't like a chosen one, right? And that's one of the reasons I love her so much. She's a princess, so she has that privilege.
But she works hard.
Yeah, she doesn't have no power.
She does,
except her lady power. Oh, she has power. When does she show her Jedi power?
Oh, she has. Like, when she could, like, communicate with Luke, like, she knew, like, they were connected through the Force.
But she ain't choking nobody or shooting no lightnings or making nothing move.
I mean, there were hints that she has powers.
Really? Girl, see, I don't know.
And, I mean, basically, it was then, because, like, what was it? There was, like, some quote, and it's like, there is another. Like, because they thought Luke was the last. He was, like, going to be the last. And they were like, there is another. And they were talking about
maybe they'll do something
Leia.
with that in this next movie.
Yeah, maybe she can be powerful. Oh, that would be cool.
I'd be into that. That'd be amazing.
And in a lot of the books and stuff like that, Luke trained Leia to be a Jedi.
But they retconned it. Oh, so it's a lot of things. Okay, 2 more questions. Okay, this question about boyfriend material. Jar Jar Binks or Jabba the Hutt?
Girl, why you do this?
I'm just
Jabba
asking.
the Hutt, obviously.
You're a horrible person.
Girl,
he's got
that
money.
big tongue. And he's rich. Rich and a really big tongue.
You guys are gross.
Whatever.
Aaron, make a better choice. Just because you're married to Jar Jar or he's your boyfriend doesn't mean you have to be with him like all the time.
He's got both parts. We found out that earlier.
No, that's Jabba.
That's Jabba got both parts. Though where they're hidden is anyone's guess.
The whole thing is just a dick. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Jar Jar. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Because
they're both terrible choices.
Put his face between your butt cheeks and go.
He's got a tongue too.
Girl, that's true.
It's long.
He does have a long tongue. It's really what we're talking about here is length versus girth.
That's true.
Jabba's got that tongue that's like a fucking girl.
But he nasty.
Yeah, and Jar Jar Binks is a beauty queen. Well, she looks cleaner at least.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's hard.
He wears nice clothes. Jabba don't wear shit.
That's a good point.
Anyway, that's a question. Last question. Do you give a jump drive with Death Star plans and sensitive information to a rebel princess? Or do you just like email it to a big group of people just for safety? Just for safety, give it to more than one person.
I give it to a princess.
Really? You're going to follow the Star Wars canon there?
I feel like if you're putting it like out there, your email can be hacked.
Yeah, but who cares? They know about the Death Star plans, so who cares if they look at them? What's it going to change?
Yeah, like
really
well,
nothing.
First of all, they can find out where their base is at. They can track that IP address.
The email. Oh, that's a good point. Unless it's like cosmic email.
R2 can be anywhere. He can transmit. I feel like this was an oversight, and they were like, "We're so science advanced, but like we can't hit send and like carbon copy several people on an email. We can't do that."
Well, and I think the main thing is like they were saying like the file was so big.
They get that like
because it took them
the
like
size of a bedroom.
It took them like minutes to like transmit once they had the gate open.
I just think their technology is not up to par with like some stuff. I just like blink at it and it changes colors, but I can't transmit large files efficiently. Yeah. There's a gap in technology.
Yeah, we have intergalactic travel down pat, no problem. Email, nope.
Yeah, the cloud
can't figure it out.
Is not existing. No cloud existing.
No.
Who needs fast email when I can just jump over there? And
I mean, that's a good point, though. Actually, that's a great point, right? It's like maybe in that world, their civilization, instead of doing long distance communication, said, "We'll just do long distance travel."
Yeah.
And potato, right?
When I feel like the rebellion is like so powered by secrecy. So like they don't want like no telling when that can be picked up. Because like the Empire has like just random like communication like things throughout the universe or just like picking up like spy recon stuff. I forget. I think it was on Rebels where they had basically it was just basically, you know, like those giant spy planes that you see. They have like the big like radar. They have those, but like Death Star size.
Oh, gross.
Oh, Jesus.
Or not Death Star. What is it? Star Destroyer. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys answered some which ones. Thank you for indulging.
You're welcome. Are you going to say how impressed you were by our answers? Or like...
I wish I could.
Well, you know, Morgan, you made like negative 3,000 on Jeopardy. I gave you affirmation.
I only lost by 1,600.
It was a big bid.
Just kidding. You guys get great. It's great.
Okay, my friends. So now, I've got some Marry Fuck Kills for y'all. I tried to make them, like, come up with a Marry Fuck Kill that's like Star Wars, but I couldn't think. What would that be? Like, Mary...
Oh, like people, like a Leia. Or actually, it'd be more like a Padme.
Yeah. Like a Padme. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is the Marry Fuck Kill. And actually, for the first time ever, I broke these up into for each of you. But of course, if you want to answer, just fucking answer. I shan't be mad. But I did make them specifically for the
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So, Messick, you got the first one. Okay. You walk into a room, R2-D2, C-3PO, and BB-8 are all looking to get that dick.
BB-8.
Who you fuck, who you marry, who you kill.
It's tough.
3PO's like the one that's like shaped most like a person. But damn if he's not annoying.
Yeah, definitely gonna kill 3PO.
Yeah.
Seems fair. Yeah. I get it.
I'll fuck BB-8 just because, you know, he seems like he's down for a good time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, R2-D2. He's that long-term companion you need.
Oh, I love it. So you married the slut. You, oh no, wait, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. Let's go on. Morgan, you've got young Obi-Wan.
Oh.
Finn, and Poe. And Finn and Poe are not currently fucking each other. They're available for you.
Okay, well, definitely gonna kill Finn.
What?
And hear me out. And then I'm gonna fuck a young Obi-Wan because he can't marry because the Jedis aren't supposed to be with people. And he's such a good Jedi that he would feel so deeply guilty about it. But it would make me feel so good about myself to hold that over him. So we're doing it. And then I'm gonna marry Poe because even if it's not a good relationship, he's gone all the time because he's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's also deeply pretty. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good choice.
I think it's smart. Yeah, you worked that through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Messick.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little family drama for you here.
Mm-hmm.
Marry, fuck, kill Princess Leia, Han Solo, Kylo Ren.
Oh.
You're getting in that family, girl.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the
Homebreaker.
feathered hair on all of them. They've all had that feathered hair.
It's a family trait, yeah.
Oh man. Definitely gonna kill Kylo.
Yeah, he's volatile.
Don't wanna mess with that. Man. I guess fuck Han and then marry Leia.
I think that's like the best choice because you don't want to be stuck with Han Solo forever because he's
just
also
gonna
volatile.
leave me. Yeah. He's just gonna go like, oh, I'm done. We had kids.
He's gonna be like,
I'm out of here.
New phone, who dis? Like that's the Han Solo motto.
I'm gonna go fly around with my best teddy bear friend.
We're definitely fucking right. Like,
they're definitely having sex.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like first choice, but they're on this ship together. It's like prison. Sooner or later, Han's dick is going to fall into Chewie's mouth. You know?
Oh,
he's got teeth.
Yeah.
You better be careful.
I know, it's a little
living
scary.
on the
That's
edge.
friendship right there.
And then if you marry the motherfucker, you're stuck with whatever's left of the shambles of that dick.
Girl.
Yeah, I think you made the right choice.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, I couldn't say no to fucking Kylo Ren myself, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Okay, Morgan. Was the last one. Marry, fuck, kill Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
No!
I did it to you.
What is this?
Sorry.
That's not
This
even
is
a
a
thing
hard
I
life.
can fuck.
Well, you're going to find a way.
What if turn this on its head, I join the Mormon cult and I become a polygamist, marry all of them.
Okay, not happening. That's not the way this game works.
This
ain't Mormon
game.
marry, fuck, kill. That wouldn't even be a game. You just marry everybody.
Well,
and kill the
you
fags.
fuck no one.
Well, yeah, that's true. No, they have so many kids.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. Okay, I have to marry, and then I have to fuck one of them, and then I just got get rid of it.
And once you kill it, you can't read it or watch it ever again.
That's the name of the game.
I'm going to ask you this one too.
You can't read it or watch it.
No,
Ever.
it's dead. It's
But
gone
you
to you.
can't.
No,
Ever.
no, not even heaven.
This is it's like really hard choices for me right now, but excuse me.
Actual tears being shed.
Okay. Well, I think if we're just gonna be like real about it, I'm gonna have to marry the Lord of the Rings because I like that foundational situation that went on to inspire other things that I love. So it can't be done without. It can't be done without. Okay.
Morgan is like a beetle under a glass right now. It is so sad. She's so lost in the world.
I can't.
I feel like this might be the beginning of your mental breakdown. I may have done too much. She's falling apart. She's falling apart.
I just like the thought of killing one of them is just like
Really hurting your feelings.
And I feel like if I kill Star Wars, that Aaron is going to be angry with me. But
You're gonna be mad at the one I kill too. So.
okay, good. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to cut Star Wars out of my life.
Oh God.
And I'm gonna have to get a weird forehead and become a Trekkie, I guess.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just fuck Harry Potter because it's like I love you, I hear you, I see you, but like maybe not every day. You know, it's like sometimes.
Wait. Did actual tears just come from your eyes onto your cheeks?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know you were going to cry.
It's just like when I'm faced with like really hard choices, I'm just like emotionally
Crumble. I feel so bad. That's like, please don't cry. Answer
I'm
this
definitely
question
not
without tears.
gonna cry.
Okay.
I definitely know the one I'm gonna marry. So definitely gonna marry Star Wars, just because that's
good.
It's my love.
Who's gonna kill it?
This is the next two are important for my marriage, man.
Yeah.
She loves both of them so much.
Oh, she has so much feeling.
I know. She's literally crying.
I feel like I'm gonna fuck Lord of the Rings and kill Harry Potter.
Wow. You heard it here.
Just like Voldemort meant to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Lord of the Rings just has like such a good base out there, so you got to get a little taste of that. And then Harry Potter's just like Lord of the Rings 2.0. You know, you're like, yeah, I don't need to just kill that.
Legolas is like Gandalf.
Get the legacy in there.
What the
Someone who
fuck
knows
are
what they're
you
doing.
saying? I wasn't listening for literally 3 seconds because I was sending the Snapchat, but what?
When you came back, Mess was saying some crazy shit.
It's like I don't even know who you are right now.
Fine. You can sleep on the couch tonight.
Oh, girl, no.
Oh? I will tell you. So good job with those, my friends. Morgan, I'm really sorry I made you cry. I really didn't see it coming.
So my mental breakdown has been on set for many months.
You're right. I did see it coming. I'm just used to it. It's been coming for so long. You're right. Now, I did have another one that I decided to cut because it was Jabba and Jar Jar. But then we'd already done it, you know. But my third one was Darth Maul with a hat on.
Why is he gonna wear a hat?
Because I think the top of his head's ugly, but I think his face is weirdly attractive.
I like everything he's doing. I think it's awesome.
Oh, you're into his devil horns. So you can take the hat off.
Well,
then.
if my 3 choices are Jar Jar, Jabba, and Darth Maul,
yeah.
I'm scared of all of them.
And Darth Maul has a whole story, doesn't he? I was reading about that online. He's got a brother, and he doesn't die when he falls.
He doesn't die in.
Is his name really Billy Maul?
No.
Oh.
I forget his name. He has 2 brothers.
Oh, he has 2. And he's got legs there. Well, here's the thing, though. He don't got no dick, though, does he? Because he got his dick done chopped off.
Well, it depends. Maybe one of them horns is his dick.
Oh,
Why does he get his dick chopped off?
When they
Because he got cut in half, girl.
Remember when he falls down that hole?
His dick.
No,
He got cut off in the waist. Where do you think
and
your
then
dick is?
his bottom is just, he doesn't get his, he
Wait,
loses
he still
his
has
bottom.
a top half?
His top half is real, him, and then his bottom half is like robot.
He's still alive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
girl.
Where he at?
He's on some planet Cuckoo.
I'm not,
what did you do
there's some
there?
sport. He pops up in Rebels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. He definitely does.
He also apparently, I'm not this far because I started watching Clone Wars, but that's a pretty hefty endeavor. It's like 6 seasons of 20
Jesus.
plus.
But that's where he comes back, is in Clone Wars.
I think so. I'm not there yet, but when I was researching him, it popped up. He's like, he came back to this one place. I was like, oh, I saw that on Rebels. Like, he had spider legs. It's like, oh, that was not on Rebels.
No, you didn't see that part. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. When he's a real person, maybe wearing a hat, I would fuck him faux show. Now, once he has spider legs and he takes his hat off, I might have to rethink it.
I
he
like
also
to
has very sharp
imagine
teeth.
what does like his hat look like.
I was imagining like a baseball cap, but I guess you could do like a yarmulke.
Yeah, you
fine.
should, in fact.
Yeah.
Do a yarmulke.
Yeah.
10 gallon.
That would be amazing, right? I mean, really, it's the world is his oyster. Or just a wig. Let's give him Kylo Ren's greasy ass wig.
Yeah.
Because he might rock that, actually.
He would look hilarious
Right?
with that wig on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh, okay. Well, that was wonderful, except for that part where I had a mental breakdown. But everything else is like totally great, totally great. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We
This is
loved
great.
hearing your Star Wars insight, and we'll talk about your Harry Potter Lord of the Rings thing later. But let's just do a couple plugs to take us out. Aaron, if you want to think of something that you want to plug, like a game shop that you love or something that's
I got a
bringing
couple
you joy.
things.
Okay, so you guys, of course, can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're at B&B Cast. That's BANDBCAST. And you can find us on Facebook also under B&B Cast, or just look for Beauty and the Bitch. We're on there. We got memes, we got things, we got information to share. So check us out. Please give us a like. Don't forget to rate us in your podcast app. We're in all the major ones. Check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all those bad boys. And you can follow me personally on @Morgandolph on Instagram.
Little known fact, I found a first generation iPod and I uploaded all of the episodes we've currently published and I hid it somewhere in downtown Austin.
Did you really?
No. Am I crazy?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome, right? Maybe we should do that.
We should go to the thrift store and buy all the
Yeah, we'll do like a
first generation
secret
iPods.
treasure. Yeah, let us know if you think that'd be fun, because we'll do that for you.
I'm into that. That was great.
It'd be a Patreon thing, maybe.
Ooh, treasure hunt.
Got you.
So what's making you happy, Mickey? Do you have anything in the world that you would like to plug?
I do. Well, not really. I mean, my whole life is just tragedy. But as you both know, but maybe everyone else doesn't, I watch a bunch of playthroughs on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love games, I actually have watched other people play games more than I've played them myself, which is odd. There is a specific gamer who I'm obsessed with. His name is Gopher, like the animal, or that's his handle. He plays everything. He's got amazing Fallout walkthroughs, all the Fallouts, all the Skyrim, just fucking everything. What he's playing right now, there are 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
First one's called Sinuous something or other. Hellblade is what it's called.
Never heard of it.
It's about a woman with multiple personality disorder and maybe schizophrenia, who is like a Norse person, I think maybe, and she goes into hell to save her lover, but it's like madness in a video game, like House of Leaves, that book I love, but video game version. It is horrifying.
That's intense.
It's so good. It's actually not one I'm plugging. He plays 2 games at once and uploads them alternate days. The other game he's playing is called Prey. I don't know if you've heard of it, Messick.
Sounds familiar.
It's on, PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. And you play this gentleman named Morgan Yu. You wake up on this...
Me? Morgan me?
Morgan Yu! Yeah, why you? Morgan Yu. Yes, exactly. You wake up on this space station called Talos 1. Everybody's dead. Everybody's gone. Mm-hmm. And there is this alien organism, or maybe many of them, called the Typhons, who have infested this station. And you have to get out and also figure out what the hell happened because you can't remember nothing. It is phenomenal. His playthrough, as always, is just the best. So you can look him up on YouTube. It's completely free. Gopher. And currently he's playing Hellblade and Prey. You should check him out.
Nice.
Aaron, you want to plug something?
Can't really think of too much. If you're ever looking to play X-Wing in Austin, we have an awesome Facebook group. Just search X-Wing Austin. I think it's Austin X-Wing group. They also have a podcast themselves called 512 Squadron podcast. So yeah, they do it once or twice a month. Yeah, it's a good show. So definitely, if you're ever in South Austin, we mainly do Mage's Sanctum and Tribe Comics. So those are the two main. And then there's Dragon Slayer, but I don't go up north.
That's real far.
Yeah.
Aw, well, check out my BB at those cute places.
Yeah, and X-Wing miniatures in general. It's a cool game.
It's a nice community.
Yeah.
I'm going to also plug a YouTube thing. So it's October when we're recording this, but when you hear it, it's going to be December. But it's always a good time to get behind spooky literature-related things. Mm-hmm. I think you guys should check out Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Dinner Party, which is a literary show on YouTube that is both funny and creepy, and it's a murder mystery dinner party where actors playing authors, like Edgar Allan Poe is hosting this murder mystery dinner party, and like time is a construct in this world because he just invites authors from like all over. He's like, oh, bring all these authors in and we're gonna have like a dinner party. But then authors start dying. Who's the murderer? I don't know. I guess you'll have to watch.
Agatha Christie.
For sure. Yeah. Or that bitch from Murder, She Wrote, because it's always her. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. And please go check out Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And hit us up and let us know what you think that Episode 9 is going to be called to complete the sentence.
Mm-hmm. A mystery.
Right. It's a mystery. Until then,
bye, baby.
Bye.
Wait,
I think that was 18.
Yeah.
What's that?
That sound like 18, girl.
Oh.
Bum ba da bum.
Bum 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 bum.
Now y'all don't know how to.
Bye.
Do you have a home? Beauty in the Bed.
You look.
Beauty in the Bed. Beauty in the Bed.
Beauty in the Bed.